What's going on, everybody? Metal Dad here again today on a Friday night again. Wow! I'm here with always my buddy Turbo.
Hey, yo!
We got Turbo here. We got Flynn. Oh, look, Flynn's even on camera behind us.
Yes, boy.
He tries to stay off the camera, but hey, he can't stay off the camera this time.
In the corner next to the Marshall.
In the corner next to the Marshall and the Boogie. You can't see the Boogie because it's right behind my head.
That's right. Give us a peek.
Here's a
Little boogie.
Give me some Boogie.
Gee,
Oh, you still can't really see it.
It's a peek boogie.
Look, I gotta do this. Now you can see it by.
There we go. Look at peek boogie.
A Pika Boogie.
Peek boogie.
A Pika Boogie.
Never gets old. Just like the game.
So apparently we're going crazy tonight, just like everybody else is going crazy in Ottawa right now with all the brutality and all the totalitarian bullcrap that's going on down there.
Oh, yeah. And then a bunch of people who think that's just great. Some folks think that's just fantastic. They just couldn't wait to have these citizens arrested, and then everything will be back to normal in Ottawa.
Yeah, but they're not going anywhere. Truckers aren't going anywhere.
Well, it's not just truckers. There's
everybody now.
irony. I've seen some of these friends of mine, nice guys, professors, all academics. I know a ton of academics. And academics are interesting. We live in an academic town. And they're good at, they're usually good at what they're academic at. I'll give them that.
You know what? I came across something, and I'm not going to mention who told me, but they posted a meme about Elon Musk, and then they got in trouble for it.
Oh, yeah.
Because the person that saw this fucking thing is an educated person, not an intelligent person. And Elon Musk was talking about you can be educated all you want, it still doesn't make you intelligent.
That's true.
And I looked straight at this person and was just like, well, that's what happens when you're not intelligent and you're educated. You get mad at things like that.
Yeah.
You know what? Education is education, but when the education's wrong, are you really intelligent? Or are you just educated with wrong information, walk around telling everybody that you're fucking smarter than you really are?
Yeah, and education is great. It's got its place, and lots of folks do well with it. But I also know for example, I know a ton of people who've got music degrees who aren't doing music. They're working at banks or whatever else. But I also know people working at banks and at car dealerships and in finance and stuff who don't have an education. Most of the successful ones don't. So
yeah, most successful people are intelligent and not educated.
Well, an education,
but they are educated because they learn easy. Because the intelligence, all it means is that you can take in information fast.
Sure, and university degrees are great for learning how to do reports and papers and all that kind of cool stuff. Not even including whatever it is you're studying.
I'm not knocking education by any means.
Sure. I didn't go to, except for a very short period. Didn't go to a university for anything like that. So when I got a job where I needed to use a computer and file reports and spreadsheets and all that sort of stuff, I didn't really know what to do. That was a difficult transition. Where everyone I know who had experience in university, they didn't even think bat an eye because they did all that in school. So hey, that's great. More power to you. Are we going live on TikTok?
No, I'm not. I'm not putting us live on TikTok right now.
Okay.
Because I got emergency things that I got to monitor on my phone right now. All I'm doing is just sending off the invites to the podcast.
There you go.
You know me because you can just talk up a storm.
I can.
So whenever you get rolling there, I just start doing technical things or behind the scenes things because there's a lot to do when you're producing the show too.
I can talk and squawk and play the guitar as well.
Well, that's what works. That's what works amazing about both of us. Is that we can both talk up a storm, we can both do whatever we want, and and there's shit got to go on in the background.
Flynn, I'm in G.
G.
Going up to A. Up to B. Back to A. D. G. So kind of like in a one like this, sort of. Now, my G is your what?
Hopefully they actually send.
A sharp. Okay. Go up 2 frets. And we'll just go up a string and stay at that one. Yeah.
Denny remembered that the podcast is tonight, so let's see if we get a.
Let's see. I'm back to the one.
Let's see if we get a visitor tonight. We may end up getting
maybe a quick 5.
A 154.
12515.
12515.
Yeah. So here I am on the 1 chord. And then up to the 2.
The 2. What style are you playing in today?
I don't know, maybe kind of a blues. Now the 5.
Sounds like we want to be in like a little bit of a trance.
Then a quick 1. And then turn around.
For those of you watching at home, I was looking at my vape pen, which looks to be a little bit weird on all the oil on the inside of it. I don't know what's going on with it. But I know that if you want to stroll down the street in the snow that turned into ice, now it's all melted all over the street. I hope it doesn't freeze right under my feet.
So, kind of I guess if you want a style, this would be kind of a 50s style. This is kind of
That's what I was feeling.
So when I was growing up, you know, my parents had, we used to listen to newbie music every Saturday morning. But they had all kinds of old records and stuff. And we had a bunch of like Chet Atkins and all kinds of cool stuff like that. And growing up, like, remember the movie Stand By Me?
Yeah.
Right? So I guess it's more 60s. Well, late early 60s, late 50s. So I just love that stuff growing up. You know, Lollipop and Stand By Me, you know. And of course, Back to the Future was cool when we were kids, right? So I always had a soft spot in my heart for that stuff. When I started playing guitar, I went right for that. And eventually I got into like the Stray Cats. I always loved that. Brian Setzer, and he always played kind of a Brian
Setzer. Yes, I like him.
One of my big influences. Alka-Seltzer. What's that?
Alka-Seltzer.
Oh yeah.
Flynn.
Only when he hits the bottle. Let's see. What do we call it? I'd say goodbye. Goodbye, Canada. Had a nice old run. Then things change. Oh, Lord, Lord, they change. And it's safe to say it's all done. You got some folks think it's all right. And some other folks saying it's gone too out of sight. My way or the highway. And you can't say what you want to say. There was a time, oh, there was a time when you could tell people I don't like what's going on. But now, oh now, that ain't good enough. And they just wanna put you down, and put you down. No, I don't mind if you feel one way, and I feel different from you. Feeling different, but the way things going is if I don't agree, you think you can tell me what to do. I got news for you. I said, no way, baby. That ain't Canada. Or maybe it always was. That old dream we had, the good times and feeling glad, well, maybe they're just about done. So long, Canada. It's been a hell of a ride. So long, Canada. You can't say we didn't try. So just seeing the way things are going, eh, buddy?
Oh, fuck, buddy. I never thought I would see the day where Canada would just walk away.
You know, maybe that's what's going on. I don't know, maybe not, but...
You know what? I have more faith in that. And they said the revolution would have to start in Canada. I never realized why, but then when you think about it, if Canada says you've had enough, then I guess we've had enough as a planet.
Well, hopefully, you know. I guess maybe I'm a little biased, just because I just seen.
Because you're Canadian?
I just seen the majority of people around me just turn a blind eye. They had no problem, with, you know, and people's rights were taken away. It was first about health, and then they just, you know, that was okay. And no matter what, if you say anything against the official narrative, well, then you're a conspiracy theorist. You don't know what you're talking about. And then as the things got kind of a little sketchy, it's okay, no problem.
No, just go about your day. It's all right. You don't need to worry about it.
Because it wasn't affecting their day. But
Hey, hello, good morning.
there it is. We've got people online. Well, hey, everybody.
How's it going to you tonight? So, I noticed that a lot of people turned a blind eye as well. But I'm also noticing a lot more people starting to shake their head. What's really going on?
Well, I have seen a lot of that. I guess the only part that bums me out is a lot of people I knew who I thought were a lot more switched on than that.
You were trying to say more intelligent, but you didn't want to.
No, because they are super smart. But that doesn't, just because you can be smart at engineering, you can be smart at math, and I've seen a lot of these people.
Yeah.
I may not be that smart at that kind of stuff, but I know how to read people, and I just see they've changed, and it's scary. It's weird.
It's mass hysteria with a little bit of hypnosis.
And they're kind of stuck, and they're kind of thinking that everything's just going to go back to the way it was, and then the old things, the way things were okay. And yet we've been saying for a long time that it wasn't. But I noticed even now that I think about it, all those folks, most of them, they had no idea it wasn't okay because everything was okay for them. So I don't know. And then they're going to find out real quick. Right?
Well, I'm going to take a little note. Sorry. I don't know why I said it like that. Let's just say that Metal Dad lost his ability to speak. But I am going to mix a drink here, and I would like to hook you up with something that I came across that helped me out a lot. It actually helped me lower the. I don't know if you need. It's not that I don't think you need to lower your cortisol. You're a pretty happy dude.
Okay, hold on. This needs commercial music.
Yes, commercial music. Take the drink and put the Kool-Aid in the cup. Take the drink and put the Kool-Aid in the cup. It's pink and it would be to drink it. You will be the one. Put the drink into the cup. The Kool-Aid is such fun. Here you go.
So what do you got there? What is there? Sugar in it?
No sugar.
Okay.
It's 100%. It's like a crystal drink. So it's got a bunch of super plants in it. One of them being L-lysine. I can't remember what it does. I'm doing a really shitty job of selling it, but you know what?
I was going to ask you what lysine does, because I have my own.
We can look it up. I got my phone. I can tell you what all this stuff does. Indian gooseberries, xanthanin. I don't know. If any of my new age people are watching, you guys are going to crucify me because I can't remember any of the information because I don't really sell it based on those facts. I just say, hey, I took this, lowered my cortisol, made me feel better.
Do you mind if I use a cup? Because this is my custom mix myself. Which is
I'll have to get you a cup. I'm going to mix my own.
Is there some over here? Is there something over in the...
Not that's clean. Oh, wait, there is. Yes.
Oh, so beyond the computer is the bar, which is really...
apparently I got red Solo cups and blue Solo cups over there.
I'll go blue.
Do we have water out here, though? That's the question. Maybe I should call...
I'll use some of my water.
Well, I could call Hannah out here to get water.
No, that's okay. I'll explain what I mean on camera.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to mix a drink, and I wanted to give you one just to see how you like it, because I like it, and I'm not trying to really sell it, but I like to give this drink to people because...
This doesn't have a whole lot of flavor. The reason I want to do it in here is because this thing is notoriously hard to clean, and I don't have the proper brush. So if I don't put too much stuff in it, this is just like a really cool metal... I forgot it did that.
Glenn, I got one for you, too.
Thank you.
I brought one up for all of us.
Geez, I wonder if I just do this before I drink it all the time. That's not nice.
Sounds pretty good.
I might just make my water better.
Well, you have to tell your water you love it first.
I do every morning.
You can't just hit it like that.
I actually don't say that, but what I do is I take our guest from last week, Todd, cool guy, the trick he taught us about how owl, the
yeah.
Yeah. So I do that to my water 3 times, and then I put some qigong power in it.
Qigong.
My yin, qigong, hey, whatever.
Or yin yang water.
Yeah.
I'll fill this up with some water and bring it in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thanks, man. Good idea.
Well, then I'll put this back.
Thank you. I love you. Sit for a little bit. I was going to mix myself a drink, and I brought one out for you, and I'll learn how to sell it better, I guess. But it's based off all natural things, all super foods. It helps clean. The way I describe it to people is it helps clean you out from the inside out, and it's like a nice little cold, warm flush of just.
I'll try not to make
goodness.
a poop joke, but I guess I just did. So let's see here. Eat.
I got all the
Bird, antioxidants, and nutrients.
You know what? I got all the information right here.
Well, let's make it a real commercial.
Hold on.
All right.
Well, that's
Radio voice. I used to do radio.
So,
Metal Dad sucks at selling, so Chris is going to teach Metal Dad how to sell properly.
Okay.
all right. So,
Because this is also a new formula as well, and I'm not used to trying to explain it to people. The contents are holy basil.
Holy smokes!
We should Google all this too. So I'm going to do this with my phone. So after I read them all off, we'll Google them all up. And
Can I read them?
Actually, yeah,
Okay.
that'll be good. And we'll see what each one does.
This evening we'll be enjoying Elite Blueberry Pomegranate flavor. Support your body, brain, and beauty. Could I get any more beautiful? We'll find out. Elite
Holy
contains
basil.
evening primrose, red clover, L-lysine, Indian gooseberry, astaxanthin, aloe,
Ashwagandha.
and ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha is the plant you want.
Elite is a revolutionary formula designed to improve your overall well-being from the inside. By harnessing the power of superherbs, antioxidants, and nutrients, Elite helps enhance mental focus, reduce stress and anxiety, and encourages balance for changing hormones, all while offering youthful, younger-looking skin. By adding Elite to your daily regimen, you promote a strong immune system, assist in exercise recovery, and improve cognitive function.
See? Metal Dad gets all screwed up, and what happens? Chris takes over and says, "Hey,
Holy jeez, oh, there's so much.
I used to do commercials."
The tree nuts in this sucker. Well, they're cooking.
No, do it as if you were a newfie. Just list off the ingredients as a newfie.
Jesus, he's so good. No, there's no. Now, look, you got
Love here, bye.
holy basil.
Basil.
When you put that in a friggin' turkey, what? Red
You
clover. Jeez, she's Irish, some kind of Irish shit. L-lysine. Oh, it looks like a pile of cocaine.
Oh shit!
Indian gooseberry. Ashwagandha. Aloe. Put it right on your skin. That's so nice. Man, use that, you know. Astaxanthin. That still looks like cocaine. An evening primrose. Yeah, you don't want the morning kind. You want the evening. I can't do an Newfie accent. That's the worst part.
Well, you kind of had one there.
Yeah, but then it kind of goes Irish. It's because
It did kind of go Irish.
I have to go hang out in Newfoundland. That's all there is to it. I just can't do it. I got too many stupid ass TV accents in there. So I can't do the real thing. It's annoying.
Well, you
But
tried.
hey, I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. So yeah, we got an electric guitar here. Have a little fun. We'll have bass players. Gonna bring some water. One of these days, we gotta get that piano all tuned up, man.
Well, I'm working on it. We will.
That would be
Once we start making
I'm pumped for that day.
once we start getting a little bit more support from the followers out there, maybe we'll get some ability to do that piano because that's got to be redone completely.
That would
Like
be
all the
cool.
keys have to be redone and all.
We should do a YouTube series of restoring that piano. That would be awesome.
Metal Dad approved.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
And I know a buddy who he builds pianos and tunes them. He's got all the riggings and fixings and gear and everything. Self's Kielster.
Really?
Yeah, interesting cat. I gotta give him an email. I send him a messenger, then I'll get it like 3 months later. He's like,
Well,
let's check messenger. I only do email.
Let's put this out there. Anybody that wants to come help Metal Dad and Turbo restore the Karn piano over there in the corner nearby.
The card.
It actually is Karn.
Yeah, I see that.
We bought it. We didn't buy it. We got it based on the fact that we were making the joke that it was almost like corn.
Well, that's the thing. Looking at all your posters, you will have to change that and make it into corn.
Yeah, we would.
But then why bother tuning it? Yeah, yeah.
Twist. You're not
And then people will come and will sample this autotune thing, and that's a patch people will get for their expensive keyboards.
They're called the Mr. Bungle chord,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
really it's just a low Korean fucking chord.
Yeah.
It's the tritone.
You just love that shit, don't you?
Oh fuck, man!
Holy
That was
cow.
my shit, man. That's when I was a young gaffer.
That was your
First
style.
getting that's what got me back into metal.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Because while I was into grunge and a little bit of that, so
Okay,
I was a little bit angsty. And then all of a sudden I heard Blind by Korn and my brain exploded. And next thing you know, all I listened to was metal.
That was it.
And that's, well, see, Metal Dad was born listening to Sabbath and Zeppelin.
Yeah.
But he got away from it a little bit, but he still listened to Guns N' Roses and Ozzy Osbourne, right? But then I was a little bit into Nirvana. And I was just kind of, floating around, and all of a sudden I was sitting around in high school, and then Korn happened. I saw this kid walking around with a Korn shirt. I was just like, what the fuck is that? What band is that? And he's like, Korn, man. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
I read about it in a guitar magazine. That's where I first saw
Yep.
it. They were it was the new thing. And,
I saw a video early one morning on Much Loud, and I was just like, this is my new fucking thing.
I remember that, Loud, yeah.
And then next thing you know, I taped the first 2 albums onto one tape, and then me and my brother copied that tape for each other, and then that's all we listened to was those 2 first albums on that fucking cassette tape.
The old dub tape.
Yeah, the old tape, and that's how Korn happened, and then the Deftones, and then all the new metal happened, and then I found Slayer.
Never got into that.
I found Slayer, but it was the Diabolos and Musica album, so it wasn't like Slayer. It was like new metal Slayer.
Okay.
And I was just like, yeah, it's not bad, it's all right. So I didn't, but then I got into Metallica.
That was kind of the first.
But this was all after Slipknot, and once you go Slipknot, well,
Water.
No, I actually filled mine up because I was all prepared. I just wasn't that prepared because I didn't have things for you guys.
Okay.
So.
Stir it with if you want to use it.
Don't use a knife. Don't use a knife to stir things. That's bad juju.
Is it?
Yeah, really bad. I didn't know you were doing that, Flynn, or else I would have stopped you.
I usually use osmosis.
Oh, osmosis is good.
Yeah, I get this local metal band to do it for me. But
For
for those who don't know, that's a local Ozzy Osbourne cover band.
I don't know why I'm giggling.
The wicked lead guitar player, Andrew Wilcox, local legend,
Well, you got
riffing player.
you got to cover things by like Randy Rhoads and Zach Wilde and Jake E. Lee, so you got to be pretty good.
And he's another famous local shredder, rocking her since the 80s.
The 80s guy.
Good old Andrew. Oh yeah.
When shredding was shredding.
Yeah.
Before it turned into jumping.
And another fellow freedom fighter.
See, that's what I like about the new metal. It's all about jumping.
Jumping? What do you mean?
Jumping. Like
physically jumping up and down on stage?
You just anywhere. It was perfect moshing music.
Okay. It's just funny. It's just like, it was just jumping. It's like,
well, yeah.
Nobody had ever jumped before.
Well, I never said that.
Metalheads were, metalheads banged their head. They were pretty crowded. We didn't do no jumping with all that leather and chains on. By the way, that reminds me, when we were kids, at least growing up,
it's true.
Or back to high school, there was a couple of pop machines, and we used to call it the leather and chain section.
The leather and chain
That's
section?
where all the bangers hung out. That's what we used to call the metal guys. In the 80s and early 90s,
sorry, folks, I lost my mind.
metalheads were called bangers.
Yeah.
That was the deal.
Hence Banger Films.
Oh, is that right?
Remember that one? Remember that series?
No.
There was a guy, what's his name? Sam Dunn, I believe is his name. If I'm wrong, somebody fact check me. We'll see what happens. I can fact check myself. I got my phone. I'm too lazy. I'm like looking at my phone while we're doing with that. Anyway, he did like a history of heavy metal series. And he actually went around and did a bunch of different documentaries on heavy metal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and his film company is called Banger Films.
Oh, I think
He's
I
a
know the
Canadian
guy
from
you mean.
BC.
I know the guy you mean. Yeah, because he was kind of the.
That Sam Dunn?
I don't know, but I
No,
remember
no,
he was kind of the first one to really.
Hold on.
Yeah, because wasn't he like an anthropologist or something? And he did like an
Yeah.
anthropological study, or
He did an anthropological study on metal.
Yeah, interesting.
Hold on, I'm going to find out what his name is because I don't actually think it's Banger Films. Or it is Banger. Gosh darn it. Like global metal. That's right. And he went around all of the different places in the world where you wouldn't think there was heavy metal, like China, and found Chinese metal bands and shit.
Especially back then, but then it wasn't quite the global spot it was back then. Now, there's heavy metal bands and hip hop bands everywhere. But back then, U.S. and American music wasn't quite the deal. Yeah. Although that was at least
Yeah, it was
what
Sam
the
Dunn.
North Americans thought. And then you'd go down to these like huge rock fest down in Brazil and everywhere else, and all the local kids were like, "Really? People like heavy metal in Brazil and Mexico?" And
Soulfly and
their
Sepultura.
festivals
Are you
were
kidding me?
huger than ours. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the biggest Rock in Rio.
That's the one I was thinking. Rock and Rio. Yeah.
Rock in Rio, Iron Maiden. That's one of the biggest Iron Maiden shows, and you see all the live footage from that, and it's just like, run to the hill.
How's it go?
Just be careful, we might get demonetized if we start covering too many things without YouTube knowing.
You know what that is?
You're gonna get mad if Metal Guy doesn't know.
Then
I should know that one. Fuck! Ah! Sorry for yelling into the microphone. Oh man, I know what it Oh.
Aces High.
That's right. Oh.
That was how I got back into metal. I was hanging out at my apartment, and my buddy out west, young fella, Chris Pearson, crazy son of a gun. Anyways, and he was right into metal, and he was into all the new metal and stuff at the time. He had a band up in Fort McMurray called Hoolandis, and these guys were like progressive kind of death metal-y type stuff. And I was working at a Tim Hortons Bacon, and I used to listen to that tape and forget what else. I'd listen to just metal while cooking at the bakery all night. Just loved it. And I wish I still had that tape. It was awesome. Anyways, and we were sitting around, and one of my roommates had a bunch of these old Chiefs metal tapes. He had a mullet and all this kind of stuff. And these Alberta high school metalheads. And actually, when I really wanted to get a guitar. I was hanging out with a buddy of mine, Lee Powers. And he passed this is how I started playing guitar, by the way. He passed the guitar all around a party one day, and nobody could really pick up because he could kind of play it all. He was ready to Anthrax and all that stuff. Nice. And Guns N' Roses. And the guitar finally got to my lap, and I knew how to play A, G, and D. And so I kind of strummed a few things because I had one that was kind of a teenager I never played. And he was like, "Hey man, you could you could be really good at that. You should do that." And nobody had ever said to me in my life, you could be good at that. It was always like, you're no good at that, or like, whatever, kid, good luck. It was never positive, right?
Yeah.
And that was the first time somebody ever said, "Hey, you could be good at that." And I was like,
"Well, yeah, what a nice person."
Yeah, he was a cool guy, man. He was neat, And we just partying and drinking, having a good time. But one of the interesting things was, and I'll give this guy credit, hard-working son of a bitch. We'd be up all hours of the night, and Friday night after working construction all week, that's how I met him. And 7:45, he'd be at the hawking outside. Beep, beep, what are you doing? Let's go. We'll go do a job. We'd go do a job, or then we'd go, friggin', we'd all go hanging out doing Lord knows what, camping or playing frisbee or going for a swim or something. But the idea is just doing stuff. Or my buddies I hang around with at the time, they wouldn't do shit. They'd sit around and play video games and watch basketball. Just, old high school buddies, great guys, but we just drifted apart. I was going somewhere else and playing music and working on that. I wasn't into watching basketball. I like doing stuff, not watching stuff. So, anyways, and that's how I started playing guitar. But so the guys knew I was right into guitar, and I was like, man, one fellow, what's the guy's name? Marshall or something. My buddy Dave goes, "Well, Marshall's got a guitar. I don't think he plays it. Let's ask him. Maybe he'll lend it to you." And he did. It was like a black Strat or some kind of Jackson or something. And I played the snot out of it. I played it every night. And then I went down to a pawn shop and got an old Yamaha hollow body. I used to love Big Sugar when they first came out.
Big Sugar, yeah.
Yeah, because he kind of played a black Gretsch or something.
Nice old Canadian band.
Or an old Gypsy. Yeah, Gordie Johnson. And so I had his first tape or whatever. Because when I first saw, that was kind of like really started piquing my interest again. I was right into hip hop, and he had the video for Ride Like Hell, which was like this. That's a lot of reverb. Sometimes I wonder, will I ever get back home? Sometimes I wonder, will I ever get back home? Oh, Lord, I wonder, will I ever get back home? And they was playing slide with the mic stand and shit, of course. Just blew my mind. I was like, oh, guitar, right? Yeah, just because I always thought guitar was kind of the final countdown. You know, yeah, Poison and Def Leppard and Metallica. And I was like, oh, what's this blues stuff? You know, I never heard Black Sabbath or any of that. Like, I didn't grow up with it. And all that 70s rock and stuff. So.
Okay.
Really? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've never seen that at all.
Really?
I think the only classic rock I ever saw, there used to be this commercial for classic rock hits. And it was like one of those K-Tel. And it, whoa, try to grow, doo-doo-doo. So I'd hear like 5 seconds or 10 seconds of the song. Other than that, I never heard the Doobie Brothers. I never heard,
Rolling Stones?
Or Magic Carpet Ride.
Not even Led Zeppelin?
Nope, none of it.
Fuck you.
None of it, man.
No.
Never heard a thing of that.
Fuck off.
It wasn't on much music back then.
That's true.
It was like pop, and it wasn't on the radio, and treasure hit.
I'm having a hard time fucking believing you, but I believe you.
Yeah, 100%, man.
It just seems out of this world.
Because my brother liked rap, so all we listened to, we watched Rap City, and then we'd hear what was on the radio, and
I remember Rap City.
and there would be like Def Leppard and all the R&B.
Not even Bon Jovi?
Yeah, Bon Jovi, but that one I don't consider that. No.
Well, no,
But that one
you heard of Bon Jovi.
when I was a little kid. But I mean like classic rock, like Deep Purple,
Oh, yeah.
Zeppelin, Doobie Brothers,
Judas Priest.
Steve Miller.
Deep
I
Purple.
would have heard, Deep Purple. I would have heard a little bit about Judas Priest though, like Quiet Riot.
Okay.
But now, so where this all comes back was when I was out west, they lent me these guitars, and I kind of drifted away from the boys, and we all moved out. And I was hanging with my buddy Chris, and he goes, yeah, I had one room, and the guys were still there. That's right. And he had all this hair metal stuff that I wouldn't listen to. And he goes, let me pick something out. So I went, okay. So he picked one out, and he goes, tell me what you hear this. And he puts on Aces High. And yeah, with the intro, right? So, oh wait, how's it go? The harmony? Anyways, and then kicks into the whole thing. And I was kind of into like, Green Day at the time would have just come out a couple of years before. Offspring's first album would have just come out. Nirvana had been out for a couple of years. So the grunge and kind of pop punk thing was going on. And I used to go to punk rock shows and all that shit. And the local ones and stuff. But then he put that on and he's like, what do you think? And I was like, that's the fucking coolest thing I've ever heard in my life. And he goes, Iron Maiden. I was like, yeah, Iron Maiden,
And who doesn't like Iron Maiden?
And then so I went out and bought all the guitar magazines, and I started buying the old guitar magazines, and that's when I became a guitar player.
And all of a sudden, metal was the new thing.
Yeah, and I like metal, but at the same time, I was getting into blues, and we're out in Alberta, so you would have to play Tragically Hip, that things. And I joined a band called. I was going to be the drummer, and then I ended up becoming the singer, called Kid Wicked. And there's these two native brothers, Joe and what was the other brother's name?
Well, you think of that. I just want to point out that
they were from Montana, though. They were these metal guys. And that was the first time I ever saw a fucking half stack. I'd never seen one in my life. And Buddy had this PV half stack with the reverb on 10. And we sat down, smoked a big joint. He's like, check this out. And had it just cranked. And he was shredding all the shred stuff. And I'd never seen that in my life. And it was like, this is the loudest thing I've ever experienced. We're sitting like 3 feet away from a half stack. Buddy just gave it. It was awesome.
And I couldn't live without my half stack now.
My first half stack was half a half stack. I thought it was a half stack, but it was a 212. But it was awesome.
I'm going to take a second here and just let you know that I just had my second bout of deja vu of the day.
Okay. Ooh, what was the first one?
Me and Hannah were in the car, and I can't remember the exact conversation.
Yeah.
But we were having a conversation as we were driving by our Mucto Pizza in Donaire, and I looked at her and I was just like, I just had deja vu. And she goes, what are you talking about? I was like, we've had this conversation before in my fucking head.
Oh, wow.
And she's just like, okay, whatever. And then I was just sitting here talking the whole Iron Maiden thing. I was
Yeah.
all of a sudden I just had a bout of fucking like I was in another dimension having this conversation with you before.
Oh, wow.
So 2 bouts of deja vu in one day. So I guess I'm on the right path. For those of you who don't know what deja vu means, it means that you're on the right path.
I was getting right into it.
That's my sister calling. Jenny.
Here comes, speaking of metal,
Holy shit!
deja vu, there's Denny again.
Who's this guy? He brought his own guitar this time.
Guitar, oh boy.
Denny. Welcome to the studio,
Okay,
Denny.
let's give him some intro music.
Intro music for Denny. Did you bring your own
It
cable?
would be something like this. Let's see.
Oh. Beverages first. Here. Bring it a sit, Denny.
Okay. You just set up over here again like you were last week. We're excited that you're here.
I'm excited to be here.
Are you just going to want to play guitar, or do you want to talk into a microphone too?
It's nice to have the option.
So I'll set you one up.
It's not too much.
It's always too much, but I'll do it anyway. Do you have an XLR or a quarter-inch jack? Quarter-inch, eh?
Just like my wiener.
He said, just like his wiener, folks.
What's in the words for Denny's intro song? I guess you don't have to have words for it.
Quarter-inch wiener. Quarter.
Is your guitar in standard?
I'm in half step, but I can go to standard.
I'm just curious because he's standard, you're half step, and I'm
Yeah, I'm in standard 432.
Me and Flynn are tuned, and then the rest of you guys are fucking wherever.
everybody's in different tunings.
Yeah.
Love it. That's the best part.
I can go a half step down. It'd be fun.
Oh, I can go up.
No, I'll do it just to mix it up.
All right, do it up. Actually, do it down.
Okay, you set up your microphone first.
Oh, sorry, buddy. You're trying
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm doing shit. I'm producing, buddy. I'm producing, buddy.
So I went shopping for a bass yesterday.
What'd you get?
I didn't get any. I tried a few out. I'm a walk away kind of guy.
Okay.
Because there's always the like, oh, these are all great, I'll buy, but I like to play walk away kind of.
So this one eventually falls
Where?
in your hands.
Hold on. Before you tell that story, we got to get his mic plugged in. He's going to tell us about bass shopping.
I'm having a hard time taking you seriously with glasses because I've never seen you wear glasses.
Oh,
Brian, have you got a friggin' habanero pepper in your water?
Lemon.
Okay.
I forgot to tell it. I was going to mention it.
Oh, the orange.
This right here,
the orange.
it tastes infinitely better with a lemon in it.
Oh, okay.
It tastes good in the way it is.
So he's got a slice of lemon in there, but the way it is, and the color of the thing,
The color of the jar.
and it's got the like. You rarely see a lemon with the stem on it, so it really looked like he had a habanero pepper soaking in there, which would be insanity or incredible. I don't know. That might be amazing.
That is something we would do around this house.
You're just thirsty. You get some water. They're just like all of a sudden, it's just like, what the hell? You'd have this habanero oil. Oh, that'd be awful.
Yeah, so I got home from work and I knew there was no power for the day. So I had to crawl under the mini home and find my pump because I had no water for it. Oh well.
Power went out at your place?
Yeah.
Oh, bummer.
I was at work.
Oh.
But when I got home, it was flashing and it been long enough that the pressure had bled out from the house.
Oh, really?
They had to turn the power off to here too, because
Somebody hit a tree, I think, right?
no tree fell.
Oh yeah, okay.
But it was weird because the power was still on when we had drove by, but the tree was over the line, so it knocked the cable or something out from one of their houses and shit.
I see.
But the way it was like this. It was like a bent elbow over the line, so it wasn't wrecking the power. But they had to turn the power off.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this man plugged in. This podcast is going wild.
You guys just keep making fucking noises while I get everything sorted out.
Okay, we'll do a song while we're setting up to chat. It's crazy with all the politics and our friends getting arrested out in Ottawa and other people around here encouraging them, ecstatic that they're out there arresting protesters. Oh, what a freaking weird world, man.
You know, people don't know.
This is all I do. Except for there's a dog around instead of people. I'll tell you a secret. You can't be harder on my guitars than I am.
I believe
That's
it's
quite the beast you got there. It's a big old Yamaha, eh?
Yamaha. I love Yamaha acoustics.
You should move a little closer, like in the middle, so we can see it while on the chat.
Sure. I do. I love Yamaha acoustics.
Oh, Yamaha makes some beautiful instruments.
They make anything with Yamaha on it. You can pretty much take to the bank.
It'll work, yeah. It's
Yeah,
a working
I,
man's guitar.
here. Sorry.
The first acoustic.
We're gonna have to move the army bag, Chris.
An old kit bag full of all the cool t-shirts.
The first acoustic I ever bought was way back when I just first started playing guitar, right?
Okay, put your drinks up there.
Okay. And so I'm with my parents and we're going yard sailing, of course, because that's what you do.
Oh, we got his mic checked?
We do now.
Hello?
Ah, there, now you can hear. Now he can tell the story.
Yes.
There we go. There, now it's not in your face. There we go.
There we go.
Your guitar?
Where was I?
Something about buying this Yamaha or
yeah.
buying a Yamaha?
Yeah. I always have to go back like 400 years to every story, right?
Strum a couple things on their thing while you're doing that.
Strum.
All right.
So this is years and years ago. I'm just starting to play guitar, and I think I'm too young probably to stay at home alone. But my parents are going yard sailing.
Get right on that mic.
So I go yard sailing with them.
There we go.
In the PMQs, there was a bunch of yard sales like they do every year.
Which PMQs was this?
This was on, I want to say, the Boner Law area.
In Orlando?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't live in, like, we weren't in the military. We just used to always
Oh, okay.
go to the queues for the yard sales. People were getting posted, and you could beat them down to the lowest price just because they wanted to get rid of it all.
Gotta go.
So this guy who's in the military is moving out or moving in, I can't remember. And he has this old acoustic. I think 2 or 3 of the strings on it are the same. And there was
Sounds about right.
And there was one nylon string on it.
Okay.
It's like, this thing's a piece of junk. I just want to get rid of it. I don't care. And this is my first. I have 2 electrics at home. but they're like a Univox and a Toki kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, and I wanted an acoustic because my uncles used to always play around the campfire, so I just kind of wanted something to, be able to do that.
Yeah.
And this guy's got this, I think it's an old school Yamaha, like the old FG series, like the 3,
Perfect.
Yep. And he wants like $100 or something like that. And Dad's like, I'll give you 50 for it. Of course. Oh, I can't give it away, man. 50's giving it away. Dad's like, all right, I'll give you 75, but I want a stand for it. He's like, well, I only have one stand. And it goes to the guitar I'm keeping. And Dad goes, well, good, now you're keeping 2 guitars. And he walks away. So we get the stand and the guitar for $75. And that was my first acoustic. My first decent guitar, even at all. So I had this thing so long that there was mold spores growing inside of it.
Oh, the black ones?
Yeah,
The old black mold.
The old
So as he's
mold,
telling
I
the
call it.
story, we're going just a G to CG. You gotta keep telling the story. Because this is just such a classical Canadian buying his guitar.
Canadian buying his first guitar, jamming out around the circle.
So,
I should
yeah,
probably pick up my guitar.
I have this Yamaha for a while, and it's been everywhere. It's stuck on decks and under decks and on boats and all that cool stuff, right? So, like I said, fast forward probably 20 years and many electrics, but always the same acoustic because it'll take a beating. It always sounds great.
An old Yamaha F-150 or something.
FG something. The old
FGs,
school. Yeah. And so one night we're all drinking around a campfire, and I think I'm cooler than cool. And I'm like, I'm going to tweak the neck a little bit. So I get a little too drunk and snap the truss rod off right there in the fire.
Oh, no.
Oh shit!
And I know myself that I'll wait till I sober up and I'll just take it apart and fix it, and it'll last a little bit and then break again and break again. So instead of postponing misery over days and hours and stuff, I just decided to throw it in the fire pit.
Now is it burned her up, eh?
Yeah, it's a fucking.
Yeah. Sometimes that is the better way to go. Sometimes they just gotta go.
It didn't owe me anything. I had it like, I don't know, 15 years for $75. I think I won. So
Yeah, 15 years, $75, good investment.
not bad, right? So I tried a bunch of different acoustics. I bought a TAC Mini. I got an old Sigma, the ones that were built by Martin.
Yep.
I had one of those. Bought a Yamaha nylon string as well. And a friend of mine really liked it, so I gave it to him for his birthday. And none of the other acoustics were really doing it for me. So I went to a store and there was Yamahas and a bunch of other brands, great brands. And this was the first one I picked up.
Let's see. You want A to D, I think. That's where Flit is. There you go.
Oh, you're half step down. Did you know half
I
step?
am now, yeah.
I was trying to match it to a G, and that's why it was all fucked up.
Oh.
But then I was like, is he in half step? But I didn't want to interrupt Danny's story, so I wasn't going to ask you if you were in half step, but I should have just used my gut.
My first acoustic was, my first guitar was electric. But my first acoustic was, can you come down a little bit?
What?
Can you come down just a little bit?
Yeah.
So my first acoustic was, yeah, because I got mine right soft. I was living out in Medicine Hat, Alberta. So earlier we were talking about my, when I bought an old Yamaha, actually, it was a Yamaha hollow body.
All the way.
And it was this cherry red one, man. It was awesome. It was 6 on a side. And at the time, I didn't know it, but all the frets were worn out on the low E string. But and I played the stuff, and I got a Garnet amp from a buddy of mine with a single 15 speaker. It was all tube. What an awesome amp.
Wow, that must have
A guy named Justin. And he was, where's Justin? He was from Manitoba or something. He's a real cool guy and a wicked guitar player. He introduced me to Steve Ray Vaughan. He used to make SRD fan. He had an old Jaguar. And he sold me this Garnet. I used to play those, but I wanted an acoustic. So I went down to the music store, and I'll never forget, there was a cardboard cutout of Jimmy Vaughan out there.
Yeah.
I didn't know who that was. I I didn't realize until years later it was
Right,
these
of course.
right?
Yeah.
But I bought a little Fender acoustic. Man, we used to go up and play that in the hills. Surrounded the kind of the, what they call it, the coolies or whatever, surrounded by that up in Alberta. And oh, we thought that was the best. You're gonna love this. And then me and my buddy Chris, we were gonna be rock stars. So I'm gonna show you our song that we wrote.
Well, Money has made it anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of, I don't know. He was advanced more on it. So for you, let's see, your equivalent would be this. I'm gonna figure it out. You go down 3 frets. So you guys are gonna be F sharp to B. Check this out. So here was our song. It was like this. So you're gonna go B minor, even a power chord. Yep. And then go to F sharp major. And you and I are gonna be A minor to D. So we figured, I forget, we didn't have a band name for our band, but I had this acoustic guitar, and he had one. And we came up with this song, and we thought we were gonna be the bomb. And we used to just jam this over and over and over and over.
Yeah,
We're
yeah, I remember
like
that.
no one has ever heard anything like this before. Little did I know, it was like
Every other band.
Alberta ghetto kid version of flamenco. And it went like this. Here we go. Sorry.
There you go.
4 of these. A minor,
Oh, okay.
and then the E major.
Early Canadian gent.
And then and now the fancy part. And here's the bridge. We do it again, we go. We thought, wow, we're gonna be rock stars. People are gonna lose their minds. And then back to the best part. Somebody else want to take one? There we go. Here comes the break. Remember one day we sat his mom down, we're like, you gotta hear this. It's gonna blow your mind. I think it was at that moment she's like, wow, my kid smokes a lot of weed.
That's when you drop the college money.
And we did.
It's not a hit unless you do that, right?
You gotta have the big finish. Yeah, who didn't have like a little tune like that they jammed and rocked it out with your young fella?
No, but it's so fun. You still do it now, right?
Still good. Took me right back there.
When life was simple.
And I picture my first acoustic that like it was like one of those mahogany stained looking flat top. Yeah, but I forget when I sold that. I brought them all back here. I've gone through so many guitars. It's
Oh yeah, I mean I have, so I can just imagine how many you've been through.
Oh, just stupid.
I've given you a lot of money over the years. And
Oh,
I wouldn't
man.
change a bit.
Yeah,
I wouldn't change a second of it.
that's how I got to know everybody in Frederick with selling guitars.
So yeah, even this guitar, and that's how I kind of got onto it. The process is, so when I walked in and I saw this guitar, this was the first one I tried out, and I loved it. I knew I would. So I put it down and I tried out 2 other ones that same day.
Yeah.
And I went home, kind of slept on it, thought about what I liked about each one of them, kind of thing. And then 2 days later, I went back, tried this one again, tried 2 other ones. So I kept doing that. I think it was a month of doing that twice a week, and then I would pick. Then this one kept coming back, even the ones that were like hundreds more or 1,000 more or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the day that I decided to go in and this was the one I was going to buy, it was one of those Yamaha days or whatever, something like that.
Okay, yeah.
So I brought it home for like $330.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, clear pink pair.
Yeah, and I love that like medium or mini jumbo or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah. What do they call that? Oh, it's like because it's parlor in the front with jumbo in the back.
Yeah,
It's like the mullet of guitars.
pretty much.
Party in the
Yeah.
business in the front, party
But
in
I
the
think
back.
Yamaha calls it like the mini jumbo or the jumbo mini or something.
Yeah.
It's not a full
Jumbo
size.
mini, yeah. No. No, I'm the electric guy here. It's weird.
Weird, huh?
Normally I'm the acoustic guy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't care. I play with some Freddie Manning machines.
So yeah, now I decided I kind of want to go buy a bass since I'm tired of waiting for somebody to show up and do it. I figure I'll do it myself. So
4 or 5.
I'll try. All I need is a 4-string myself, literally.
Yeah.
I don't get too fancy. It's just something so I can lay down and stuff at home
Yeah.
while I record guitar.
So you can get into fives.
guitar player.
Yeah.
I don't like fives. Can't get into them. I had a couple over the years, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's not in my. I'm a 6-string guitar player. I don't go too crazy. I alter tunings, but I don't do anything. Overly rambunctious. And
Some guys love them though.
Oh, absolutely.
That's their deal, But
yeah, but as far as what I need for now, maybe later on that'll change.
Yeah.
Who knows? But the 4-strings just, exactly what I want.
well, I just sold a Mexican fretless jazz up to Long McLean.
I played it yesterday.
It's a good guitar.
It is a beautiful guitar. Does it have those flat?
Flat ones,
Flat rings?
yeah.
Yeah, I played it yesterday. Actually.
Yeah, pretty relaxed.
That was one of 3 or 4 I tried yesterday.
It's a good price too, yeah. I bought on that for years.
Yeah, I thought it looked familiar.
Yeah. But now I have a little G Church needle bass. I had that for ages. I was like, well, I want to go down to one bass. And later on, I'll get another fretless maybe someday.
I remember you had a nice Samick bass, fretless for a while.
Yeah, that was 5
years and years ago.
Years ago. I played that in the old death metal band.
Yeah, man. That's what I used to follow you guys around the province.
Yeah. I used to have a Lado fretless and handmade one. I forget who I sold that to.
If I could find a nice, cheap ding wall would be just great.
Oh, yeah. I know. It'd be cool to get something pretty high end.
Yeah.
I don't know.
An Ernie Ball Stingray, or the Sterling ones, I guess.
Yeah,
they're beautiful. The amount of tones you can get out of that one pickup.
Yep.
They're the perfect bass.
I felt my next one be. I was like a good old P bass. They were nice.
Yeah, they are nice. So yeah, right now I'm just kind of feeling things out. I'm not a bass player, so I'm trying to find the neck contour I like, or what sits perfectly, or what's more comfortable over anything like that, you know.
Listen, I don't have any gigs, and I'll do some non-recording when I got.
And that's all I'm looking for.
If I don't know. Right now, the music scene's so fucked up that I'm not.
Yeah.
There's no music in this town because we're locked away. There's no music to be found because we're locked away.
Or 2 shots.
Come on, gather around because the music's gone.
Or possibly 3 shots.
What have we done to this world when all the music is lost?
It's the shots.
It's the shots heard around the world.
Ooh, the shots
Yeah.
around the world.
Alright! Oh, okay, come on. Axl Rose that shit, let's go.
You can't forget the one.
We'll actually be in queue with you
Right there.
I don't know where you are!
You know, we're half step
I don't know
432.
I know, I'm just
Intonation is just a joke at this point. Oh,
We're just all making it up anyway.
yeah.
Instead of being in a New Brunswick kitchen or an East Coast kitchen party, we're in the garage, so.
Yeah, the music scene is weird because the only bands playing are all jabbed up. So, to each his own, but it ain't my deal, so, you know. I ain't
So-
going nowhere, they don't want me.
Let's not even worry about that part right now. But let's worry.
But it is
Or
annoying.
sorry, it is annoying.
I can't go, I can't play. And,
Oh, really? Eh?
yeah, well, I don't have any shots. So
Yeah.
I can't do it, so they won't let you. I've heard rumors that you can play because you're working. But
There's kind of
some
like
will,
like
some
a
won't.
loophole there, right?
Yeah, but some will, some won't. Some people
Well, I
are
think
breaking
that's-
about it.
Yeah, they're leaving it up to the individual business or venue
yeah.
or whatever.
And well, as far as I know around here, I haven't heard of any that are willing to play ball. So
Yeah.
you know, so it's just
That's why we have this.
not interested. Yeah, and
And it's all right for now, but you know,
I probably won't play any of those venues ever again.
well, really,
Yeah, no, and I won't miss it. Like, I don't know what to say.
it's
Like,
downtown Fredericton anyway, so whatever.
Yeah, I don't really care. Like, I'm not missing much.
You know, you gotta leave Fredericton in order to get anything. So. But it's good to play around here with your buddies and shit. That's why I always just threw my own shows anyway, because people don't want to go to the bars and hear what I was playing. So fuck it.
Are there even
Yeah.
I don't know. I think some people go to bars or
Not
something.
too many left.
No, there isn't.
Oh, you know, I just want to point this out. Let's get off the jab thing for a second.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how it's starting to come out that all of the shit that everybody's been saying about what they were trying to do to all of the elections and stuff is actually coming out to be true now.
You mean like
All of the things that Hillary Clinton
Hillary
was
Clinton
doing.
and Trump and all that? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a bit of a.
Like it's
Yeah.
mainstream news now. And I want to laugh at this, and I don't care if everybody makes fun of it because it's a Fox reference.
Okay.
But Tucker Carlson actually said live on Fox,
No idea who that is.
it's
Seriously.
He's a big conservative
Not to be rude,
guy on
but
Fox.
no, I know, you don't know, you don't watch Fox, so you don't know.
I don't watch. No,
You don't news, right?
I don't watch much TV.
But anyway, he actually made reference to Fidel Castro and Justin Trudeau live on fucking air.
Boing.
Like, literally fucking
Yeah.
called him fucking Justin Castro or Castro fucking Trudeau.
Okay, so now I like.
The illegitimate son of Fidel Castro is what actually he said on fucking, I believe, fact check it, I don't really care. But just the fact that it was on a mainstream fucking source.
Fact check this right here.
Yeah.
Fact check that cable
So-
that you put on your guitar.
so something
What
interesting.
the fuck?
What would be the reaction of the public if in fact that was the case.
Probably this.
Like,
We still love him.
yeah.
You guys are half step.
Sure.
Now I'm in half step too.
You're in half step too.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see. That's a bit. It's a bit strange. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's curious.
It's also freak show.
Olay.
And not a big stretch. The guy looks so much like him. It's spooky.
How do you not, like, how is there no, like, I've heard of
It is pretty bad.
but this is not that.
If you were to believe in conspiracies and to think that this was all a big staged plan to show the world what was actually going on, then you would also believe that they grew that beard out while he was on COVID lockdown on purpose to show people how much like Castro he looks like. I know that's a weird rabbit hole to go down, but that's how my brain works.
Yeah, that's the problem. We
Did-
all know that.
Then he looked at me and went, "What the fuck are you saying over there, Brian?
Does not confuse.
Why the fuck would you say that?"
Because you have a bad solder joint up there somewhere.
Or is it the right solder joint?
Nope.
Are you sure about that?
There's some feedback going on. It's microphonic.
That's why I put my tinfoil hat on. You guys
Hey,
didn't
but
see
that's
it?
how they invented distortion.
Now look at us.
Yeah.
So hey, I may be wrong.
You're just a beautiful fluke. Just like distortion.
There's only one of me, and you're stuck with me now. Because who wants to work with Denny?
No one. Oh, you, yeah.
What? Are you fucking kidding me?
So are you in a band right now? I know we're just talking about how the music scene is weird right now.
Yeah, that's kind of, yeah. It's kind of the Trudeau Castro thing, you know?
Yeah.
I'm in a bunch of bands that don't exist.
Right.
Yeah,
Me too.
He's just a homeless musician looking for a place to
Hence
play.
why I want to buy a bass and just, I'm writing a bunch of stuff.
I wanna
Nobody
buy
wants to show
a
up. I might
bass.
as well lay it down. If people find this they're showing up, they do. If
I'm
not,
writing
it's
too.
fun.
Yeah.
I was in a band here. Things were going okay, you know. People were getting busy with life. That's fine.
Yeah,
But it was still working. And then I moved away. Not far, St. John or Hampton, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was gonna keep, you know, as things kept productive, I was gonna come back here,
Right.
and do that thing. But while I was out in Hampton, I also joined a band in St. John. There was some turmoil there. A bunch of people quit. Really turned me off from it, so I walked away. I was kind of like not a hired gun, but an added member, you know what I mean?
Right.
All the stuff was we hadn't gotten far enough where I was actively writing or stuff like that, you know?
Right. And that's always a bit awkward.
Yeah, you know
guys
what?
are like, okay, this is our thing.
And
We
yeah,
can hang out,
but the more we got, the more I was accepted, and the more my input was, you know,
Yeah.
usual kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then things were going well. We recorded an album. I wrote a couple songs on it.
What was it called? It was a band.
It was Beyond Eternal from St. John. So
Okay,
they've been around for years. And I just kind of messaged a guy that was part of that band just to see if he wanted to kind of jam. You know, I wasn't looking to join the band. I just wanted to,
Okay.
you know, jam with somebody casually kind of thing. I just moved out there, didn't really know many people.
Yeah.
And he says, well, why don't you join the band? I said, well, you know, that's not what I was looking for, but if that's a possibility, sure, why not?
Yeah.
So he brought me out to one of their practices. Unbeknownst to me, the guys weren't really interested on hiring, and he kind of.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So he talked my way in, and once I played with them at a practice, I thought I did horribly, but they wanted me to come back, and on the second kind of jam or whatever, they asked me to join.
Well, how many guys were in the band?
It was a 3-piece.
Okay, yeah, so.
Yeah.
Metal, extra guitar, always nice.
Right.
Well, let's face it. Metal is one of those things where you need two guitars.
You need a wall, right?
You need a wall of sound, and it needs to be in your face.
You don't need, but it helps.
You want.
Because Pantera.
Right? That's where I'm going.
Well, but then again, if you listen to
the
all,
album, yeah.
hold on, if you listen to the album, always more than one guitar,
Oh, yeah.
and it always seems in some places a little bit lost with.
Kind of like when
Without-
Iron Maiden brought Yannick Gears.
Yeah, I wish.
And they brought Adrian Smith back. When I saw them at St. John, it was like,
Why
so
is
every time there's a lead, there's 2 rhythm guitars going on, and it was, yeah, that was the best. Like,
Yeah,
that
but
is-
you know
Look
what?
back to see where-
I don't need to sit there and watch Yannick Gerd do
Yeah.
spin kick solo.
I have to tell you,
while
stop.
Dave
No, you
Gerd-
didn't like him?
He's great. He's great.
Yeah,
I don't think he's necessary when you got Adrian and Dave back.
I suppose, yeah.
I just
But
because
just from a
he's
sound-
the throwing the guitar. Like
Okay, yeah.
He plays the spin kick solo, you know, and the other guys are doing cool shit. He's just
Yeah.
in the corner.
Well, they're the legends.
Weedly
right?
Dean.
Right?
Yeah.
He's in the corner, Weedly Dean.
Not even. He's like the ADHD kid on the hockey team, just circling.
We have a guy like that in our band.
Yeah.
We call him the Weedly D.
Oh yeah.
He just sits there and he just plays fucking Weedly D and the.
It's not you, is it?
No,
Yeah, he does the Wheatley don'ts.
I'm not that
My
great.
bad.
So yeah, I joined that band.
Wait a minute.
There
Did
was
you
some
just
turmoil. A bunch of guys quit. So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna step away because I was just so turned off by everything.
Yeah.
That if new members come along, I'm in. If not, I'm
Yeah.
still in, kind of thing. And then I moved back here, and I told the guys in the band that I was in here
Yeah.
that nobody's knocking on my door to jam anymore. There doesn't seem to be any interest. There seems to be lots of talk of interest, but no,
Yeah.
you know. So I said, well, if you guys aren't interested, that's fine. But I'm gonna still play. You know, they all have young families and stuff like that. It's
So
understandable.
that's tough.
And everybody was really like understanding with it. Like, no, that's cool. We understand. Like, you want to do this thing.
Yep.
I said, you know, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna take the songs and, you know, find guys. And as I play, I'll play less and less. Or it'll be a start off point kind of thing. And everybody seemed to be cool with it. So then I kind of did a widespread over everybody, the group chat kind of thing.
Yep.
You know, and I guess it wasn't as cool as they said it was. So some of them are no longer speaking with me. You guys have known for over 20 years.
What band was that?
That was how long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I loved it. And we
Nick
always
from that
had.
band? Oh,
He was, yeah.
okay.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Great drummer. Great. He was a great friend. And again, he got busy.
He's got 2 kids now or something.
Yeah, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it just apparently it wasn't as cool. They weren't as cool with it as they said they might be. So
Wow. Weird. That's too bad.
yeah, so the door's always open if any of those guys call me again.
Yeah.
For sure on.
They didn't take as well. That's why you got to be straight up with folks.
And that's
all the
why I
time.
always have been.
Yeah.
To a fault, maybe.
It's never to a fault, Danny.
And then,
And always be straight up.
So a bunch of guys that quit the band in St. John all contacted me kind of at once and wanted
Oh, wow.
to start something there. So I started writing a bunch of stuff, and again, just another bunch of guys that are all talking.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Maybe not all of them. I shouldn't say not all of them, but there's some key points that just kind of fell apart, right? So
Well, if you, especially like a metal band, if you want to, not even like make it go and hit the big times or whatever, but if you want to do something, if you want it to be fun and have it be any good. Like that's one thing I used to love about that old metal band I was in. Not the old metal band I was in, but one of them. I think I was there in 2. I was in an Iron Maiden tribute band.
Yeah.
But we would rehearse 2, sometimes 3 times a week, but definitely 2 times a week.
oh yeah,
Now we lived together, so that
Yeah.
made it easier. But
Oh yeah.
that was at the end. Before we didn't live together.
No.
But that was the deal, and and it was focused. We know what we were going to work on.
you guys were ultra focused.
Yeah, but it was easy because you just go, okay, well, I didn't write any of the songs. I think they had wrote the first album.
Yep.
Brought me in on bass.
Yep.
So I went, okay, well, I'll just play these parts and kind of like write kind of my own parts around as the bass player.
Right.
Freedom that way.
As you would.
Yeah, and
Should, I should say.
And then we just rehearsed the shit out of it. It's like it's a no-brainer. And here's the set list. Here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna practice the set list for the shows. Yeah, And that's one thing I've always tried to get in a lot of other bands, and had a hard time with it. Getting people who understood the discipline of it.
Oh,
You
it's
know?
a huge commitment.
But then I've also had a lot of experience in the complete opposite world. So what I call the Legion bands and stuff, where it's like we just kind of know the songs, and the whole point is that we want to jam while we're doing it live. We're gonna change it, mix it up. And some people hate that; they want that stuff to be all rehearsed, which is fine. But there's a whole other style where, in order to play in that kind of a band, no amount of homework will save you.
No,
You have to.
you're right.
You have to play with those kind of players. You have to learn to play that to jam, literally to jam.
But it's a chemistry thing.
Yeah. And I love that. So a lot of my working bands I've had, it's always been that.
Right.
Sometimes the guys didn't want to rehearse, but I knew they wouldn't be doing the discipline, or not even that. It's more like you can't rehearse that. It's like we get together 2 or 3 times. Here's the songs roughly how they go. Here's the keys. Here's kind of roughly where the solo's going to go. But I might,
Oh, you might go on a little.
if I feel like putting a solo here, I'm gonna put one in. And fucking heads up hockey, or like boom, watch the headstock. Like these are the breaks.
Yeah.
If I turn to the drummer and I go like this. I duck down.
Yeah.
That means bring the volume down. I'll look at you and I'll bring the neck up, and that means bring it up. Like, it's not complicated.
It's chemistry and body language, right?
Yeah, it's all 3-chord stuff, and I had a lot of fun doing that, and I still enjoy doing that. But I'm at the point now where I kind of would like to go back and do a bit of a rehearsed show.
Yeah, there's something about
interspersed with those numbers.
Well, see,
so you get best of both worlds.
When we used to play with the band I was in here, or in Fredericton, I should say, my favorite part about that band was the fun we had and the chemistry. We could play the same set over and over again, but it was never exactly the same,
Okay.
Because I have a terrible habit of, when I'm playing, I might not make it 4 or 6 times around, or I kind of will lose count kind of thing, just because I'm into it, and I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm probably the worst musician guitar player there is around kind of thing.
And this isn't like a metal type band you're talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we weren't one of these technical metal bands or anything like that, but we were aggressive and we were groovy.
Yeah.
But there was always kind of it might fall off the tracks, but it never quite does feel. But there was that danger about it, you would always, any show you've seen us play, we were always kind of staring at each other like, not yet. Okay.
Right.
Or somebody would do a lead, and it would be like everybody else would look around and say like, he's going a little bit long, maybe we'll just. Or if someone ended a little bit quicker too soon, there would kind of be a look or a nod, or somebody would turn, or kind
It's kind of fun.
it was chaotic, but it was kind of controlled, so that was always fun.
Live experience.
And that it's live music, and that's the thing, there was a couple songs we had where we had kind of inside joke, like, what would you call it, choreographed dance moves, there'd be parts in the lead where I would do a break and then somebody else would do another little, so there was always that kind of, but it's all about chemistry and, watching the next guy to see where's he at, or I know this is faster than you.
Chemistry and discipline.
Yeah. So that was always so much fun.
Yeah, it's funny. So I played a lot of different styles, so it's weird to see that play over so many different bands.
Oh,
But some of the ones, I don't know. Some of them, like I would never go back. It's just like, man, there's controlled chaos, and then there's just, like, I'll tell you one thing I hate. I won't even say who it was, but I was in a band, and those guys would fuck around between songs.
Oh yeah, that I don't like.
Forever. The band leader was the worst. Sitting there noodling around, fooling around. I just feel like an idiot. People
Well,
are
yeah.
waiting to dance and just screwing around and
See, that's
changing
different.
things.
There's a fine line there, right?
Yeah, and players playing over your solos and stuff.
Yeah, that's not.
Just not being respectful and just.
They're to just
I know.
play around rather than actually put some
You know, that's
serious
something
effort
you
in.
do
Yeah.
when you're goofing off at the jam space. Not quite everybody's there
Yeah.
yet, or you're after the work is done, then you kind of
It's when you're
goof off.
tuning your
But some
guitar.
folks will convince themselves that, oh no, that's just part of our shtick, that's our style. We're
I'm
just
Jerry Garcia.
Yeah, just like,
No,
no,
you're not.
you're fucking annoying and you're embarrassing the rhythm
Yeah.
section, and we don't like it. And yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean our stuff was always structured. It
Yeah,
was just there was sort of an acceptable looseness about it, you know.
right. And I hate that dead air. I hate dead air.
No, there
Like,
couldn't.
talk, do a little in between something. Try and do that,
Yeah, there should never be any dead air at all. And if there's dead air in your show, then you're not doing it right.
No, if there was dead air, we always had inside jokes that we would let the people at the show in on. Like,
It's one of the weird things about, I mean, I'm not saying I've never had dead air in my shows.
no, absolutely.
But I try and keep it down to a minimum, or at least you do a little bit of, But
you don't want that awkward silence,
Yeah,
right?
that's one of the things about this pandemic is kind of where it broke everything down. And once you take a step back, I'm certainly going to be going, I won't be going back to this gig. I won't be doing this. I won't. These musicians I am going to avoid.
Right,
I can't, like,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
going to work with this person. Because I was just caught up in it. I was just going all the time. And,
Well, you just love it so much, right? You just don't want to say no.
yeah, money, you get the call, and like, we'll make a couple bucks.
Yeah.
But then, but then you have time to realize, oh, well, that's why that gig never really paid. Because it was never very professional. And they want professional, you want professional money. You gotta act professional, right? Yeah. So, and you don't have to be all anal about it either. It's just about, I found it more fun when it was professional. It was always more fun. You're not stressed.
Well, you kind of got to put
Things are
yourself
easy.
in that seat, right? Like, you
Yeah.
wouldn't want to see that. You wouldn't want to pay to see somebody do that.
No, I hate it.
You want to see somebody fuck around and not know what they're doing, or somebody who knows what they're doing. And people that know what they're doing know how to have fun while they're doing something hard.
They're talking to the top of the mic the whole time. That's right.
Well, now you might have it.
There you go.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Cheese. Are we getting into the butt cheese again?
Not getting it. Not yet. It's too early.
It's too early for butt. Not enough beer yet. That was actually really perfect. That was great. Can you do it again? Do it again. No, it wasn't the same.
Yeah, but you can't recreate a moment.
That's true. You can't. I just wanted to hear that sounding. There, that was good. That was good. Are you sweet?
No.
Really?
Yep.
I'm actually kind of surprised.
I'm a rhythm player that doesn't know keys.
That Carrie keeps the fuck out of his leads.
That's something I've been kind of needing to get into. It's like we were talking about shred,
Right.
and one of my students, I'm kind of getting him to really get into the modes. We're gonna do some harmony leads. I'm actually looking forward to hopefully things light up this summer. I wanted, as a really good kid, and I've taught him for years.
Okay, yeah.
And we've always had great fun. We used to play the Gagetown Fair, and he kind of lived out there. They were volunteer firefighters, him and his grandpa.
Okay.
So, I used to get him to play along with my stuff. And then one year, I was like, you know what, Cam? What do you want to play? You pick the songs this year. So he's like, well, I just want to do like some Buddy Holly and I forget what we did that year, but he just picked a bunch of good old tunes.
Right on.
He loves that stuff. Yeah. I was like, well, let's learn yours, and I'll learn them, and I'll sing them. We did it, and it was great. And then next year, we did a Beatles tribute.
Oh, really?
And it was awesome and challenging to learn it all,
It would be.
and sing it, and it was interesting. But so now I'm kind of kicking this butt. I want to get him to like really get the lead to that next level.
Oh, right.
And at the same time, that means I've got to sit down and do
Kick
it.
yourself in the end.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of sitting down with some of the, I don't know, I've got some books and stuff, and some of them I've had luck, and some I haven't. But I was thinking of going through a Frank Gambale
Oh, right on.
thing and just go, okay,
Yeah.
maybe I'll just try and go through one of his systems. And I saw there's a video he has on YouTube where it's like him and his buddies are just like, he's all Australian going. He goes, all right.
Oh, yeah, right.
And so the drum beats go tick, 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 and it starts. Here, I'll turn it down. So it's like, he goes, we're just gonna hang out here for a while.
Oh yeah, I love
You
those.
know,
I love those.
Then
I
he's
love
like,
those.
but eventually it's starting, and he's doing this, and it's all with the
It's building,
stamina.
right?
Then it's eventually.
It's always all about building up to something.
You know, and whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it goes forever. It's just like, oh my god, dude. But it's Frank
It's
Gambale.
the-
It's hard to argue at the time. It's like
Look
you
at
can
the
play
results,
fusion
right?
metal at the
Yeah.
drop of a hat. Oh, but I still have to start your career. Oh, Miles Davis. You
You
know,
know, that guy's not mentioned nearly enough.
fuck, he's
Not
crazy
nearly
good.
enough.
Crazy good.
I was actually having a conversation with one of your old bandmates about Frank.
Oh, is that right? Who's that?
With Dale.
Oh, geez, I haven't seen Dale on it.
Actually, he lived at my place for a few months.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he's doing great. He's back into guitar.
Good. You know, speaking
He
of
bought a
so.
beautiful telly this week.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
I never would have pictured that.
Playing a telly through a camper.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. He always had a wicked right hand.
I love me a
Still
telly.
does.
Yeah.
Still does, man.
And it was like, and he used to go through the drop of Gypsy method, but I mean, he played for years.
Yeah.
You know, he's played metal forever. But yeah, he always had that wicked right hand. It was like, and that's-
Super tight.
And the thing with, because it comes from the old thrash days though,
Yeah.
when it was you down pick chords, your bar chords, and that's it.
Well, he's a huge John Schaefer fan too, right? From Ice Earth.
Oh yeah,
That guy's got a right hand.
Yeah. There's something to be said about that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna go back into that. Just 'cause
I mean, a
it's
lot
not
of
my
people
bag.
shit on metal, and people still do shit on metal, but play it.
Well, people shit on everything.
Yeah.
You know,
If
metalheads
it's-
shit
if-
on other stuff. Other people shit on.
I've
metal.
never shit on any.
The funny thing
Who
about metal,
cares? Right? Who cares? It's all music.
Are
The
they
funny
having
thing
fun?
about
do they
metal
like
players,
it? Are they doing it for the right reasons? Then leave them alone, or go do it better than them.
And at the end of the day, even if I don't like your music, are you any good?
Right.
I can think of lots of guitar players that I don't care for their music.
But
I
are they good?
But they're all like Dream Theater. I don't really care for their music.
I could do with
But I
it.
still love watching the videos with the boys. We used to sit and watch them all the time. And the songs are okay. Some of them I really liked, but I didn't care.
No,
it was
me
just like watching these dudes just masters in their craft doing it. It was fun, and
But
I love that.
But they never seemed like they were playing with
emotion. Yeah, there was. I always found it to be
Yeah, it was
emotionless. Like when we're talking Dream Theater, it was like emotionless Metallica with a couple extra bars,
This is the way
added
I,
notes every once in a
this is
while.
the way I like to think. I mean, obviously, my main guys are like Dimebag and Hetfield and Gary Holt and stuff like that. But I also love other stuff.
Yeah.
But I always said, Santana can say more with one note than Malmsteen can say in 3 hours with however many
Yeah.
notes he wants to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can.
You know what I love though? When Ingwe Malmsteen did that
Yeah, man.
concert with the Japanese orchestra.
I watched that.
That was awesome.
I never saw that.
I'm not saying he's not an incredible guitar player,
it's nuts, man, because it's like there's just
Well, Malmsteen.
it's a symphony.
but you
And
watch.
then him doing his things, and it's super
But you watch
fun.
these, especially more modern stuff. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I'm not shitting on the modern, obviously, but these guys can play 3 million notes a minute. But you got one guy that just.
It's kind of math metal. I don't know. It's just not my thing, And
You look at Derek
Dream-
Trucks, he can slide
yeah,
one note, and he can say more with that one note than.
wicked
You know,
tone too. What a
Michelangelo
boring
Bassio can
live
say
show
with-
though. I saw those guys. They were
Yeah.
the worst live show. No, they weren't the worst. They were just boring. I've seen terrible bands, but yeah, 'cause
I know what it is.
They were all
I figured
stoned,
it
which is fine, but they all just sat there staring at their feet. Even the singer. It's like, man, you're on stage. Like, have a little respect.
People are spending their money. People took time off work. They saved up money.
Yeah.
They're paying a babysitter. At least, get some
Yeah.
blood flowing.
But I know a
Praise
bunch,
the
a bunch of
heart.
people who were at the same show. They're just like, that was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, well, I didn't go there to look at them. I went there to hear them. And I was like, okay, you got a point.
I get it.
I got it. And, you just wanted to just be in the crowd, I guess. And I'm like, fuck, you
Well-
could have looked up once or twice.
I think that comes down to when a musician is in the crowd, he knows what has to actually be put in the music in order for it to actually mean something. And when you see somebody up there that's just kind of looking at their feet and they're not putting any emotion in, like I was thinking about it, like
I just call it
Malmsteen,
lazy.
guys like that, Sebastian, whatever my fucking two-handed guy is there.
Oh,
Portillo.
Michelangelo Basie.
Yeah, Michelangelo. The thing is with those guys, in order to get to that level which they're at, it's almost
like
like
to put in the work.
they put in so much practice time and just it was like so much robotic fucking shit that they had to do to get that way. That's what displays in their music, and that's why yes, everybody looks at them and goes, "You guys are fucking amazing," but we don't want to watch a show because we don't feel it.
But then you look at, I mean, and that's the thing. Even like you, I think maybe kind of what you were saying earlier. You don't have to like their music or the way that whatever, but you got to respect the work they put in.
Yeah, and
Right?
I find it entertaining to
Exactly.
see someone do something they're good at. Like in music, I wouldn't put on a Dream Theater CD.
No, I never have.
But, you know,
If someone puts it on, you appreciate it.
yeah, or even, but especially visually to watch.
Like I'm not
And
gonna
just,
go do
you
it.
know, and just going, holy
Yeah.
shit, they're really
That's
cool.
what they do.
And to see them pull it off, and there's, you know, they're
Night
like
after
some of
night
the,
after
they're some of the best musicians in there, arguably in their style. Like, how do you not respect?
Oh, you've got to respect it,
Yeah,
but it's just not my.
yeah.
You know, I
Where-
don't mind watching a guy
where
bang
some-
something out of tune.
Somebody like, say
Yeah.
for example, in the kind of like psychobilly or rockabilly kind of.
But you would rather do it yourself too.
Danny Gatton, for example.
Oh my God! Don't even
Right?
get me started on
He's
this.
this crazy
Get started on
rockabilly
it.
shredder.
Do it.
But if
Do
you
it
ever,
He's not of this world.
he's crazy. But what's interesting too is if you watch like there's an Austin City Limits of this guy.
Yeah.
His band, they're not only like it's kind of a country rockabilly type thing.
Yeah.
But they're super entertaining. All of them. Oh, the
There's
drummer,
no-
keyboard, sax player, like
They're not
Danny.
just filling space. They're part of the show, man.
Man, but that's the Nashville.
Yeah.
Although they weren't Nashville guys. He was from DC. Same with Roy
No, but they were
Buchanan.
kind of adopted into that.
They were. Oh yeah. He became.
Right.
Yeah.
He's the telly guy. You know what I mean? He's the
Telemaster. Yeah. But
Speaking of that, I watched a Helicasters show the other night.
Oh.
With Will Ray and
I've never
John
seen a
Jorgensen.
video of those guys play. That'd be cool.
Pretty
to
entertaining.
listen to their music. But.
I watched them, I think, on Letterman actually one time. Yeah, it was pretty entertaining.
Well, the Helicasters.
Yeah.
It's neat. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
So these three guys who play tellies. There's a guy named John Jorgensen.
He had
He played in a lot of countries.
He had a GNL with 3 Z pickups in it.
Oh yeah. And then there's
Will Ray,
Will Ray, who's this kind of like black hair, sideburns,
chicken picking telly guy.
Nice.
And who's the other guy?
Donahue.
If you're gonna chicken picking, it would be an
Jerry
Untitled
Donahue.
Jerry Donahue. Yeah.
Yeah, who's another. There are these three country guys, three telly guys, and they're just wicked. And it's these three guys just being silly.
Yeah,
And
really
showing off.
silly. Oh,
Real
yeah,
silly.
Yeah.
Right? And it's
Very
all about,
tongue-in-cheek.
they're having so much more fun.
Very tongue.
But interesting thing, John Jorgensen, one of the guys, he became one of the premier American gypsy jazz players.
Yeah, he was, man.
And he still is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm a gypsy jazz guy, so
Well,
that's what I like.
So here's
Like
my question.
my
man.
favorite shredder, hands down, of all styles of music, is Borelli Lagrève.
Yeah.
And he's a fucking guy, oh my God.
Well, here-
Sweep it and whatever.
Well, here's what we'll do then. Why don't you
Yeah.
give us a little bit of an intro into a gypsy jazz lesson?
Okay.
Do it.
Do it
That's all
now.
I can do is an intro.
Yeah.
So they would
Give
do,
us a feel for it.
the traditional would be like, say there's the old song called Minor Swing. So they do A minor. So for you guys,
We already got it covered. I got my piano on.
okay. Then it'd be D minor. Then it'd be E7. And then E minor. A7. D minor. Back to A minor. E7. And then an A. So when I play it, you'll see it kind of sounds like this. See, there was no drummer, so it was all the rhythm guitar.
We need a Leslie speaker in here. Don't we?
And so traditionally, the idea was my first gypsy jazz lesson was a guy named Dave Kelby, an Australian guy in London. I kind of fooled around a bit, but he's like, we were sat down, and long story short, I got lost on the tube in London all morning. I was supposed to go for a lesson, and because I met him 2 nights before, we went to this gypsy jazz club in London called La Cucumba, and I used to watch these guys play there online. My sister lived in England, and we were going. Anyways, I went to a trip to visit her. Long story short, went to this club and saw these guys. I talked to him, and I said he was rolling. I thought he was rolling a joint. He was rolling a cigarette. Pre-rolls are very expensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So everybody rolls.
That's an
rolls.
odd fact.
And you'd see all these like businessmen walking around. I think they're all smoking joints. They're smoking cigarettes. Anyways, so I was like, man, that was awesome. I'm looking for a gypsy jazz lesson. I'm like, I'll take the worst hack in London. He goes, oh, no, I'll be a hack, man. You know, something like that. Anyway, super cool guy.
So he's an Australian?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I went to his place. Finally, then he just laughed and gave me like this lowdown on gypsy culture.
Really?
Yeah, he's a hip cat. It was an intense day.
So he went beyond the.
It was one of the coolest days of my life.
Cool.
And one of the things, at least just to get to the gypsy jazz, was I was playing all these like partial chords.
Yeah.
And it's fine. He's like, you know what? Because he asked me like, what kind of music do you play? I was like, well, I play blues and country. And he was, well, how do you play it? I'm like, well, when I wanted to learn to play it, I figured I learned from reading like, ZZ Top. What was it? Steve Ray Vaughan. Like, oh, you want to play like Steve Ray Vaughan? Well, listen to Albert King.
Right.
You want to play like, blah, blah. So that's why I got into traditional blues. I was like, that's kind of been my attitude. He goes, good attitude. So let's do that with gypsy jazz. So no drummer. They wouldn't play all these mini chords. The big rhythm guy would play a full A minor. Bar chord.
Because he had to fill that space, right?
And then the idea that down 2 frets. Try now. Wait a minute, maybe you're right. Yeah. Do it again.
I've already got it covered, man.
Oh, but that's what I heard. Sorry. Minor.
I made a major chord.
Yeah. So what you do is you go like this, though. So it's all about that stopping.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's the percussion of it, right?
Yeah. And you just don't let it go. Yeah. Now the idea is you could go the D minor, you can just play up, but you'd like grab that fifth on the bottom. Because again, it's more string, more note. And you had a bass player, right? So they're like, don't worry, he'll get the root.
Oh yeah. He'll keep that groove.
So grab that. Now the E7, you could go, but they would kind of do like this, like a C7.
Like inverted.
Well, that'd be fine. I would often do this one, which is like,
I find that sweeter though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It gives that extra kind of.
Plus you can grab the fifth.
Yeah.
And you don't have to move anywhere. So it's like for the
You're
viewers,
basically just inverting the chord, right?
they can see from there, really far away from here, and then I'm here. But it doesn't really matter. The idea is you get in those big chords. So that would be the idea. So I'll play the song. So it goes like this. It's like A. Then you got a D. Up to E. Back to A, but it's minor to a major. Then you D. Back to A. Real pleasant, right? Then E. Then back to A with a real quick E. Real quick. Right? campfire format, right? Back day, just a little build up, like, oh, here comes the lead. And you do little partials like they did a 6 chord. So that's sort of a thing. And yeah, so the idea is that would be like one guy, and if he added another player, well, he'd be like, well, maybe I'll do the little
He's walking
small
over it, right?
chords. Yeah, and then you'd have the lead player, which might be the guitar, might be a clarinet, might be a violin. Those were kind of the big three. And then they'd have a singer and stuff too. So yeah, the boys sitting around the campfires doing all that fun stuff. Yeah, but that's kind of the key to it is like, just kidding. And there's all kinds of songs. And they were doing old jazz tunes. Then there's some traditional gypsy tunes and Eastern European ones. There's many styles of gypsy jazz even. Like
That's just a style that kind of opened up to the whole, everybody kind of took it their own way, right?
Well, they were playing all kinds of, the legend is Django and Stefan Grappelli, who was the violinist.
Right.
Used to play this thing called the Bal Musette. So people would be doing waltzes, traditional French waltzes, so there might be all kinds of traditional, like just French dance music. But they'd be listening to these jazz records and stuff, right? And the legend is they'd be on their break, they'd kind of like be fooling around with these songs. So they eventually got the idea, hey, we should start like our own little jazz band.
Implemented, yeah.
So they did, and they became the Hot Club de France, Yeah.
I'll be back. I'm going to the bathroom.
Okay.
I dare you.
Yeah. So
I dare you.
you want to do a lead on that song? It's in A minor. So you can do all the regular modes and everything.
Yeah?
Yep. You want to try it again, Flynn? Yeah. Okay. We'll give her a go. 1, 2,
All right, let me
1,
watch.
2, 3, 4. You can do the lead if you want.
Also, I'm just kind of a caveman metal rhythm guy. I'm not a lead guy,
Oh,
right?
bring her on. A minor. Do pentatonic. It'll sound great. Play at half speed, then go fast. There you go. Think you can follow the chords? So it's A, B. Oh, there you go. Keep it going. fun little thing. So that's the minor swing everybody kind of learns. It's got this neat little lick. It's,
Yeah. And it's nice and wide open. You can dance around it, right?
yeah. And they do all the crazy licks on top of that. And this guy, Borelli Legrand, who I just love,
Right.
he was like a child prodigy, right? So this guy was just ripping her back then. And I don't know what happened, man. I guess the 80s came along and he picked up all that too, right?
Okay.
So, man, he can play traditional stuff just wicked. And then you'll see him do kind of fusion albums and all kinds of stuff. And there's this thing that blew my mind. It was him, a bass player and a rhythm guy. So this rhythm guy playing acoustic guitar, a stand-up bass player. And he's playing a Yamaha electric guitar with like a Strat tremolo and a P90 neck pickup. That's it.
Okay.
And the stuff he pulls off on that thing just friggin' shock you. Like Hawaiian steel kind of licks.
Yeah.
And these big sweeps and just all of it. It's just interesting to see a player with all of those tricks. And sometimes he'll go over the top and go buck wild. But most of it's pretty melodic. And, I just love it. There's one particular song, All of Me, he does it. One of these days, I'm going to sit down and transcribe his whole solo and just figure it out. What the hell he's doing?
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, all that stuff, like all the gypsies,
Yeah.
run into my head. It's like I gotta figure it out.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
That's the thing. I've never really been.
It's the new style I want to get into, I guess.
I'm a very stupid musician, and that's why I always go on about playing with feel and stuff. I've never learned. Like earlier, I struggled along, but if I was jamming with somebody and they were like the key of whatever,
Yeah.
not a fucking clue.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm a caveman rhythm guy. I play some leads, but I fake it. I just keep bending till the note is the right one, and I kind of work off of it.
Rock and metal is different, though, right? Because it's a different kind of art. Like it's.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it is, and maybe you're just trying to make me feel better about myself. I'm a terrible guitar player, but I have the passion, so that's why it works for me. I guess.
You're not a terrible guitar player. You're just not driving knowledge into
But
your
it's
brain.
a different style, right?
Not knowledge.
Oh, it is.
Like you can have all your typical theory, but then you go to learn a Slayer song or something, and it's like,
And I guess
well, they're not using theory per se in the typical way. It's pattern based, and that's how it kind of works.
But see,
It's
I guess
it works, right? So you got to learn the
I'm
song.
I'm obviously first and foremost. Everybody's always known me as a metal guy. I'm a metal guy. I love the aggression. I love the emotion. I love the feeling. But for starters, if you don't have blues, you don't have any of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was raised on some blues, but mostly like what did they call it?
Like blues rock.
No, I was raised on
Skinner.
honestly, I was raised on like outlaw country.
Okay, yeah.
And
True Blue New Brunswick.
not only outlaw country, but
Outlaw country.
but like some of the greats, like not outlaw country, but the chicken pickers. Like I was raised on Ricky Skaggs and
Okay, yeah.
Vince
Proper
Gill.
country.
Yeah, like I was raised basically. It was like Ricky Skaggs, Vince Gill, all those kind of guys. Chet Atkins, but there was also some Conway in there and some Boxcar Willie kind of stuff in there.
Yeah.
The metal was on my own, but
Right.
there was always that kind of stuff. And some of the blues guys like BB. And there was BB and obviously Stevie and Hendrix and stuff like that. And all those guys were amazing and very disciplined, but there was always that wide open space where they just kind of went on and did their own thing, like the old Copeland and that kind of stuff. So that's where metal has to be very like, we play this many times, this is when everybody stops.
Yeah.
But then there's also the guy, the metal or the country guy that always kind of just went way too long, and he just played it until everybody thought, this is what we're doing now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I did a lot of country playing, that kind of stuff, and that's where I really learned. When I do the Chris Mercer band, that's how I do it. It's like because it comes from playing with players where he goes, it's watch the leader. I remember when Dutchy Mason would hire people, and that was the thing. It was just the rule was they used to say it was like when you joined his band, was watch the old man.
Yeah,
It's like if he's gonna go, you gotta follow.
But he would always give, like everybody would always know, it wasn't just kind of a guessing game. There was always the nod or the headstock tilt or the floor kind of, everybody would kind of have the cue.
Yeah. Now some of those guys weren't so obvious; they just go and just kind of wing it. There is that mishmash.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Sometimes it works too.
Sometimes it gets there.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a bit of best of both worlds, I guess. But that's why I always loved playing in both. I got bored after the metal though because we just did so much of that technical stuff. Plus, it wasn't like it was the first time I ever.
Right the fuck out.
Well, it wasn't the first time I ever did it. I grew up playing in bands in school, like school band,
Yeah, see,
and
I never had it.
You don't improvise there. You read the notes, like you play the part, right? I mean, that's the deal. And playing piano as a kid, like that's what you did. And singing in ukulele choirs when I was a child. You're strumming and singing the songs, and they're the same every time. So, that's why kind of when I got into my 30s and stuff, it was just like, it wasn't a challenge.
Right, no, I know.
And that's where some people are like, oh, wow, it's so amazing. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, but after you can do it.
But see, that's the
it's
thing.
Like, what now? And I like the more exciting, the more loose.
Right.
And I just draw to the country for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was raised on that music, but at home, I was the only one that played. If I wanted to play with, it was always uncles or cousins or aunts or somebody distant. Nobody in the house played.
Right.
But everybody had the passion. Nobody played it. You know what I mean? So when I started playing, I was kind of just like, I'm just going to keep hitting the wrong note until it sounds right.
Yeah.
But not know. And I'm still learning. I've never sat down and played with somebody else and not learned. I could sit down with you 35 days in a row and learn 35 different things. By the end of that 35 days, you're gonna fucking be sick of me, and I'm gonna be sick of you. But
are you sure about that?
Oh, I'm sick of me right now. So
I'm not sick of you.
But I've never sat down with somebody and not learned something.
Oh yeah, exactly. You just have an open eye.
Everybody always says like somebody's better or that guy's better or you're better. Nobody's better than anybody because not everybody, like, you could know all the tricks or I could know all the tricks or anything, but you might bend it a different way that I go, oh wow, I never thought of
pick it up. Yeah.
And maybe it's a hippie thing to say, and I kind of hate that because hippies aren't my friends or whatever, but
you don't like hippies?
No.
Why?
But like,
they're not angry enough for you?
There's a bunch of different ways to play the same note, and nobody's gonna play it twice. And notes are like, you're gonna play a note a different way that I'm gonna play the same note, and we're gonna tell a completely different story with it.
Yeah.
You're gonna try to play it like me, it's not gonna be exactly right. And I'm gonna play it like you, and it's not gonna be exactly right because that note's telling a different story for me than it is for you. You know what I mean?
I love the guitar.
That's what I love about music.
Yeah.
Well, there's in guitar, there's imperfection built into the instrument.
And my favorite part of music is the imperfection.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be perfect to be
I'm
perfect.
gonna take a break.
Who was it?
You're gonna go down. We're running through you, bye.
What's the saying? The funk is in the flaw.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice. Never actually heard that term. Funk in the flaw.
Also, I talk a lot of bullshit.
Well, you're good at talking that bullshit.
It's because I live with a dog and she never corrects me.
They're always a half step away from the right note.
Yeah.
Even if you hit the wrong note.
Yeah, so even if you hit the... bend it till it's right. And then if you just... if I do this twice, everybody's like, all right, buddy. But if you go... eventually the crowd's going to fucking join in. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true.
You watch a blues show and buddy's going...
It's true, yeah. They just
What the fuck's it doing? But eventually everybody's going, yeah.
It's something about watching somebody just get lost in their note and just and then trying to find
kinda-
that right thing.
He was a drummer, but they once, I watched an interview with Stuart Copeland,
Oh yes.
and they always said, he always played a small kid. It was like a 3 or 4 piece kid at the biggest, you know what I mean?
Really? In the beginning, I thought he had a lot of like rototoms.
But he broke, when he broke it down during this lessons, what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
and they would always say, like, you have your own kind of feel, but it's a drum kit. It's not like you can bend or slide or.
Yeah.
He said the trick is, I play all the songs a 1/4 inch to the left. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, exactly. Nobody can play like me, and I can't play like anybody else.
Oh shit.
Yeah. That unique style.
And that's what he said. He said, when you play the drums, you can't bend a note. He said, I just played a 1/4 inch to the left. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, I just play it kind of in the pocket, but nobody else can kind of get there, kind of.
He played traditional grip.
He
would
did.
just hit that snare
He would
drum
just hammer it.
so hard. He had the great big. He put a big towel taped to it so it would bleed. Yeah. Fascinating guy. He got into production too. He's a big producer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting guy.
And
Well, I can't stick around too much later because I got ribs in the oven at home.
oh, yeah.
They're on low.
Are you slow roasting some ribs, are
Pulling
you?
off
Yeah.
the bone as we speak.
Oh yeah.
So you're out for some ribs, are you, bud?
Oh yeah.
Are you out for some ribs?
And I
Out for some ribs, are you, bud?
I'm trying to do barbecue sauce tonight. So I pretty much eat mostly a carnivore diet. It's funny, I was at my favorite local health food store called Aura Foods. It's a great spot. If you're ever in Fredericton, they got everything you need.
Aura Food.
That's where I get my quercetin and vitamin C, and I've been COVID free the whole fucking time, because I know what medicine to take. And great.
Hey, I got COVID. Eat a dick.
Hey, sorry, man. I didn't. Should have took quercetin. Works great.
Man, I eat great. You know what I got for COVID?
What?
A week off.
Ah, nice.
Did
So
you-
what was
did
it
you-
like for you?
Did you feel sick?
Did you get scratchy throat? What did you get?
This was what I got.
A week off.
A week to spend with my dog and my guitars, and nobody was allowed to come see me.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
I've never been more grateful in my entire life.
And that's it.
It's a
That's
guy
it.
I know. He always,
That's it, honestly.
He always goes, best pandemic
So-
ever.
Somebody my boss messaged me from work.
You're fucking
How are
kidding,
you
man.
feeling? And I said, grateful. He said, what do you mean? You have COVID?
You heard it,
Yeah.
folks.
I was like, yeah. I'm not allowed to leave my house, and nobody's allowed to come see me. I'm trapped with my guitars and my dog.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I went 9 days.
And that's where we're gonna end today's show, folks.
I went 9 days, and nobody was even allowed to come see me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Or we could keep going. It doesn't really matter.
Well, how did you feel? Did you feel sick or anything? Or like, when did you get it? Recently or a
Honestly,
while back?
It was 3 days before I came here last week. Like, I was just out.
Oh, okay.
It was the week before.
So probably an Omicron or whatever. Yeah. So no big deal.
It's the monitors.
I felt worse and gone to work.
Yeah.
Literally. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
We all have,
I'm
to
not,
be honest with
I'm
you.
not saying everybody that's going to get it is going to get the same.
Yeah.
I have a niece right now that she's felt sick, worse every day since she's gotten it.
Okay. Yeah.
And I personally myself, I've stubbed my toe and felt worse.
Yeah.
But also, I eat healthy. I take care of myself,
Yeah.
and maybe that doesn't even matter.
Oh,
I think what
it
matters is how you handle a regular cold. Like I said, my youngest niece, she's not handling it well at all. But even when she gets like a common cold, she's down. Like, it ruins her.
Is she a young kid?
Yeah, she's 17.
Yeah, so teenager.
So-
yeah.
So even when she's got a regular cold, before any of this stuff happened,
Yeah.
when she's ill, she's deathly ill. So this has taken a toll on her more than it did on me.
Does she take care of herself?
She does, yeah. She plays hockey. She's very active. She works.
But is she eating the
gets
right
sick,
diet?
She gets sick. Yeah.
Because I've done, from some of the things that I've learned, a lot of her problems. It doesn't matter if you look healthy or not.
Right.
If you're not eating the right food
Oh,
for the
I
type
eat.
of body that you have.
Yeah. No,
Right.
I eat great. I mean, anybody that's really known me or hung out, and you know yourself. Like
You use your intuition to eat, though, don't you?
I always eat well. I've always watched what I've put in my body besides, you
Yeah.
know.
I've
some-
never known you
besides
to be
beer.
overweight.
No, I've
I've never seen you fucking.
You know,
fat.
I
I've been fat.
I drink lots and stuff like that. I'm not perfect, but as far as an overall thing, you know, I've been related to too many people that has affected them. So I'm trying not to
Yeah.
get there. Kind of
Yeah,
thing,
me
right?
too. That's
But yeah. So I know people that have there's a guy at work that was sick the same week as I was. Sorry, that was terrible. But he was sick the same time as I was.
Did you forget how to speak?
And I went French for a second, sir.
No, call this neck.
So,
shit. Get out of my crush.
He was sick the same week I was. Actually, he tested negative a day after I did or whatever. But he came back to work 3 days after I returned, and he's still feeling it. But that guy's diet completely sucks.
Yep.
So he's always unhealthy, is what you're saying.
So this is his diet per day, and I can say it for sure because I've seen it happen. He smokes probably 8 cigarettes before he gets to work in the morning.
Oh Jesus.
And 8 cigarettes after.
No, he smokes about 8 cigarettes on the way into work because he's told me. Like he gets in, he lives in Stanley, or past
Okay,
Stanley,
yeah,
that's in town. He starts his truck, lights his first cigarette, and as he finishes the cigarette, he lights the next one.
Okay, yeah.
All the
Proper
way in.
smoker.
Yeah,
Old school.
Oh shit! I remember when I was like that.
and he'll go outside once per hour for a cigarette, and then
Yeah.
he has to drive home. So he smokes 2 20 packs a day.
Woo.
A Wonder Bar is his breakfast.
Holy fuck!
Jeez.
I'm not done.
I know you're not.
4 Monsters per day,
Oh yeah.
and KFC for lunch.
Yikes.
And he was, as a child, apparently he was prone to mono. So that guy could get a runny nose and it'll kill him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
So he's like, yeah, I
Wow.
still feel tired.
So it doesn't
Like,
matter-
Maybe you should eat food for once. I don't know.
yeah.
That's always a good idea.
Freaky, man.
Right?
Yeah, to each his own, I guess. Wow. That's just insane.
He's like, but I don't drink alcohol. You do. Yeah, but I also throw back a head of lettuce every once in a while. you know?
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, that's it, man. That's the funny thing, right? That's why I don't know.
And
Yeah.
for the record, I have had 2 shots just because,
Sure.
you know, I'm not saying everybody get. It was my choice. I
Yeah.
made the choice.
Go for it.
I work in the automotive trade. I get into different people's vehicles.
Yeah.
But then again, as far as the shots go, some people thought they were out of commission for a while after got that.
And you had no problem. So.
Yeah, but a lot of people say I take pain differently, or you know.
You have the ginger gene.
No, I've been in some ginger beer.
You know what it is? You're too white.
I'm guilty of being white.
I always say I call it the
You're too white.
I wonder. I say with the shots, it could be the penicillin effect. I call it,
Well, yeah, exactly.
where everybody in this room could do fine on penicillin, but there's that one guy.
That one guy, yeah,
fucking
absolutely.
kill him, right?
Yeah.
Or peanuts.
And I wasn't saying that to make a point or anything.
No.
I was just saying it.
That's just
that
reality.
Well,
I've seen people get equally sick either way.
So here's where I was talking about that quercetin.
Yeah.
It turns out it's. I think I'm getting this correct.
And again, I didn't mean that to start it.
Oh, no worries.
No, I was just
it's
stating.
It's something they make out of like the pith of like grapefruits and stuff.
Right,
Boil it
okay.
all down. Whatever, you take that, and it's really good if you take a high absorption vitamin C together.
Right.
And I think what it does, it somehow lets the C and the D and the vitamins, it somehow encourages it to get in and boost your immune system. And the point being, I got right sick this summer, right? So I always had a good immune system too. But
Yeah, you're
Wasn't-
never really a sickly person, right?
I never get sick.
No.
Like very rarely. Very rarely.
I think all of us in here are in that category.
Yeah.
Because even when I smoked a pack and a half, two
That's
cigarettes,
Even
I didn't
when I
get sick.
partied and drank, whatever, I'd always be still eating healthy, you know. And even if I had junk food once in a while, I'd be like, well, I'm having some beer. I'll
Right.
eat a bag of chips or two. But, you know, I'd still be having, I always just eat good food. I cook on most of my food. You know, and if I go out to
As
eat,
do
I
I,
get
yeah.
good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a club sandwich and fries. I mean, it's not that bad. It's
No.
actually good. Remember, old Dutchman, he's like, that's a good Dutch meal. You got paper,
I mean, if-
you got your bread, you got your vegetables, tomato, you've got you got your turkey, your potatoes.
Yeah, but they
it's
always have
very
a way to
good.
justify it, right?
But it's true. Like a
But
club
I mean, if you
sandwich
eat
and
7
fries
of
is not
those
bad.
and sit down,
yeah,
not so
exactly,
much, right?
Exactly. But
So-
you know, if you eat a decent amount of it, it's actually a pretty balanced meal.
oh, it absolutely is.
But anyways, point being, I got a viral infection. They said they really don't know what happened.
No,
I
no.
got right sick. It wasn't COVID, so they didn't know what the fuck to do. And my immune system was shot because I wasn't doing the sports I was usually doing. I was working too hard. Everything was shut down. And wearing a mask every day.
Exhaustion.
I didn't know I had underlying asthma my whole life. I didn't fucking know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never knew that. Then I just know when I was doing jujitsu, they're like, you gotta stop breathing so funny. Fuck, relax, man. Like, I am fucking relaxed. You're pissing me off.
Yeah. And that just
Relax.
amps it up, right?
But of course,
It's
I
like,
just
tell-
same fucking problem
Yeah.
with running in the army.
that's like
I'm
telling
trying
a
to
lady to calm down.
Yeah.
You don't do it.
so all of that, and then the mask. I was washing my mask and everything too, you know. But
The masks didn't help, man. You're breathing in your own exhaust.
it fucked me up. So
Yeah, you're breathing in more CO2
so
than
what I
oxygen.
did, I went, okay, I did all the digging and stuff. I was like, okay, and my heart swelled up, and I was on. I couldn't play guitar for 2 months. It was a scene. So I dug in, and I was like, okay, well, myocarditis is the thing, and you know, and there's some people still think there's no such thing as adverse reactions, and it's just like, how stupid are you guys?
Oh, there absolutely is.
I mean, it's like saying, well, just cars don't have recalls, Fords don't have recalls. Fuck every fucking my Mercedes doesn't have recalls. Every car has a recall.
You know how long
Get
I've
over
been in the automotive industry.
Yeah,
right?
like it's like every car has a recall.
Yeah.
like that's you can't.
It's how
Every
it goes.
guitar has a.
recalls have paid for my
My
houses.
famous
Yeah.
That's how it is.
I'm sorry
Anyway,
for your luck.
So
But
I did,
if it wasn't for recalls, I'd be homeless.
so I did some digging because I knew, okay, I'm sick. So now
Touche.
now that I'm sick, now I'm immunocompromised,
But
right?
thinking
So-
about it will also make you sick.
And I knew that, and I found that out. But I also looked at
Placebo.
all the alternatives. And one of the things was the quercetin, which is here about the hydrochloroquine. And I think hydrochloroquine is the kind of the clinical version of quercetin.
Okay.
Quinine, quercetin, is that quinine?
Listen,
Quinine is the drink
I'm
for
good
like
and I'm
tonic
happy with
water.
my health, so I don't look any further.
Well, I had to.
And I'm not shitting on
I
you. I'm
couldn't
just
play. I
saying.
couldn't play guitar. I
Yeah.
couldn't work. I was
Yeah,
stuck on the
He
couch.
was in bad
And
shape.
you know me, I like to do shit.
Yeah.
I couldn't go on my boat. I couldn't do any fucking gym. I couldn't go for a walk. I was like, so what do you do? I had the internet. So I was like, okay, what's going on? And I looked at every side of the thing I could find. So anyways, point being,
Pornhub.
I went, yeah.
Oh wait, no, sorry, that's my.
It was like, I got to boost my.
You're watching step sibling porn, aren't you?
No, that's gross.
So that's when I
Yes.
got into every day. I took quercetin,
Fucking knew it.
vitamin C. I drink. I always did drink fish oil, so make sure I'm getting my D's, all that sort of stuff. And so the
Smells like
irony is, because
marijuana.
I don't have any vaccinations, is that the fact that I find
Marijuana.
it weird that I
Yeah,
didn't
marijuana.
catch it.
Marijuana.
Everybody I know
Rolling
almost
newbies?
got it.
Yes.
I think I got
I-
COVID light.
Think
Wanna
it's
smoke
the,
I kind of do actually.
or you got a good immune system.
Oh, I know I have a good.
But you don't have to.
So it's obviously
that's
crossed my
thinking
path.
maybe.
But I think
Absolutely.
because I started
I just like the
boosting up my
smell.
immune, and then I
should
started
smoke it,
exercising, and now
I've
I'm
probably
back.
done a few.
And I was really careful with gradually building my health up.
That's
So
why
I'm sure it's come across my path. Now I don't, and I don't worry
frogs.
about it because I'm like, oh,
Frogs
it's
in
not
my
gonna kill me.
throat.
And if it does, well,
Doobies.
it'll not
He'll
kill me. What
die.
am I gonna do? Yeah, it'll be a little.
I
bit
had
We're
this
actually talking to
conversation
Flint
with
for
somebody
people
yesterday,
watching when
yeah.
we're doing
The only thing I believe in
two
is
conversations
karma.
at once.
I had said like I know I'm going to pay for this,
Just like at a normal
and I know I'm
party.
going to be sad about it, and I know I'm going to look
That's the
back
point
on
of
this
this.
conversation and say probably shouldn't have said it.
They're having their
But
own
people have been
conversations. I'm
dying
talking to the people
Since
in
the day
Flint.
there's been people,
Yeah,
Just how we do it.
exactly.
and I'm going to lose people, probably based on that
It's kind of
comment,
like the
and I'm going to be
baseline.
sad
Go
for
a
years
walk
to
and
come.
leave guitars over here.
But that doesn't stop the fact that eventually
Great.
Yeah,
they were going to die.
yeah,
the
this
pocket.
stuff happens. And,
It's
uh,
gonna
Nobody
speak at
should
a
last
little bit of
forever.
a lower register,
But
so
and the
they don't
big
disrupt
wake up
them.
call too was about the comorbidities, right? It was like some
It's
of
just how
these
it is.
comorbidities are a
Like
major
it's still talk
factor.
to Flynn, and people are just like,
Well,
"Oh,
then, if
what's middle bed doing?"
comorbidities are a major factor with COVID,
Talking
got
nonsense
two
under the
conversations
COVID
going on
conversation.
here, yes.
I know. I've actually been outlining the conversation to having two conversations while you guys are having the conversation.
It's funny, I was in a conversation with Chris, so I couldn't even hear the sound that was coming out of your mouth.
I just heard noise.
Oh, it's
Anyways,
like what I
point
hear when
being-
I hear you French.
I am French.
I know.
The comorbidities thing, it's obviously an issue with COVID.
Yeah,
So think about it for a second.
it's an issue with everything though.
Exactly.
So fuck
So
COVID.
where it comes back
Oh,
to is
coof. We gotta use coof, or we're gonna get taken back.
have you got a healthy attitude and lifestyle? That's the key.
Me?
Everybody.
For everything.
In health. In other
Yeah.
words,
You specifically, but
The
everybody
only
else.
thing unhealthy about me is my mental state, but I'm still.
yeah.
But you have a beer.
Yeah, but that doesn't help it.
You have a dog.
That helps.
You have a guitar,
All of those help.
and you have you.
That doesn't.
But it does.
Oh, I'm my worst enemy. I've been working on
You need
me.
to start high fiving yourself.
Ain't we all, brother?
Yeah, could have been
I
the
used
axe
to
I
be.
took to the head. Maybe, who knows?
You want a morning starter?
No, I want a beer.
Well, then drink your beer.
All right.
But yeah, I think it's.
Yeah.
I think it's a. What was the word you used earlier?
Healthy lifestyle.
Healthy lifestyle, but your immune system.
Oh, your immune system. Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
can't
take care of
handle
your
if you can't handle a regular cold, you're not going to handle this.
That's what.
no, exactly.
That's what. Actually, we'll bring it back to what we started out with.
Oh.
That's actually what this does. It boosts your immune system.
Support your body, brain, and beauty.
Body, brain, and beauty with holy basil, red clover,
Two of those
evening
things.
primrose,
Two of those things are lost on me.
LIC.
Well, I'll tell you what.
The beauty
Holy,
and not available at
Holy
this point
basil?
in time.
holy basil is
Oh,
wicked
really?
stuff. My sister grows a shit ton of it in her farm.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
yell that next time I stub my toe.
Holy basil!
It's weird, man.
That's
It's,
my next metal dance.
it's a flower kind of basil,
Welcome to Holy Basil.
and it makes the
We're
most.
gonna
It makes the most incredible ice cream. Imagine like
listen, man. I grew up in Gary. We used to make ice cream out of the snow that was
Yeah.
plowed out of our driveway
love
and
it.
vanilla extract.
Yeah,
I've been an alcoholic since birth. Night night.
Yeah.
Are you fucking?
Lovely.
First of all, I didn't know you're from Gary. That actually makes a lot of sense.
I was the coolest French kid in Gary.
Oh man. I used to live in Gary. I love Gary. I used to live on
I almost bought a
Landing
house in
Road.
Gary.
That's where I grew up.
27 Landing Road.
1/3. Actually,
The old
back
Lynn's house.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you were
Look
in
at you two New Brunswickers.
when you were in the Blend house,
Yeah.
that was so if you came off the new road, Blend's was on the corner on
Yep.
the right hand side.
Yep.
We were the first house on the left, 58. I used to hang out with the Blends. We actually
Really?
put the roof on that house.
No shit.
Yeah,
Then you'll remember, that blind corner.
the corner there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now it's like there's all houses built up. I teach some students on the French Lake Road, so I drive past there.
Yeah.
Back then, there was nothing there.
There was nothing there, man.
And there was an
We
old.
moved there in '85.
That was a moose highway.
Yeah.
And you got
85.
blind New Brunswick corner in the middle of a fucking swamp
On top of a hill.
on top of a hill.
Yep.
And I don't
That
know how many
sounds about right.
times I'd almost hit a moose there. And one day I went walking out there. And
Is that before they put all the
there
moose fencing?
was this. No, there's no.
There's no moose fencing in Gary. There's moose fencing around Gary.
Exactly. Keep it in there. And I went just kind of curious. I was like, I just want to see what's out there. I just was walking in the woods. And there was this, when I say a highway, it was literally a highway of all this sun-bleached wood.
Yeah.
You've seen it. It's
Yeah.
fucking, it blew my mind. And it was hard to walk in. You had to walk on the wood. But of course, these big tall moose would walk through it. And it was about, I don't know, as wide as a garage, half as wide as a garage. And of all just this sun-bleached wood for miles. You could follow these trails. I thought they would, they'd walk on like sort of like a deer trail looking thing. It's like no, they
They
got
go
their
wherever they
own,
want.
and they obviously love this
Yes.
trail.
Through your
They
car.
fucking do.
And they had knocked so many trees over there in so many years that it looked like driftwood. You ever
I like
seen
it.
that?
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah,
up for the fact that you're French.
so cool. Yeah, the old. So I always think of.
Here you go, fella.
Oh,
Play
geez.
some notes.
So when I think of
No
Gary,
playing.
I always drive by there and think of that old, and it looked like the creepy bones or something, man. It was like this weird,
Yeah.
weirdest thing. So
Yeah, no,
cool.
we moved.
I will take this time to remind you about your ribs too, because now I'm thinking about ribs.
We moved there in '85. My father bought the lot, bought a little
Hey, ribs last
Winnebago.
night.
Fuck, this is nice.
We moved in before the house was built. He cleared just enough to park the Winnebago on there, cleared the lot, and by Monday we were in the house.
That's awesome.
Built the house in 4 days.
That's that's crazy. Wow.
Right, it's okay. It's not so bad. The strings are a little bit old, but I gotta change them.
$300.
I like the sound of it.
$330 taxes.
You know what? Oddly enough, Yamahas are my favorite acoustic. I don't know
I'm
why.
telling you, man.
I've never had a Yamaha that sounded bad.
There's a term called Denny proof.
Really?
Yamahas are Denny proof, and you can ask Dale about it. He'd come home and there'd be guitars upside down in the garbage can. He's like, "Why is there a guitar in the garbage can?" I was like, "Oh, I was done playing and I was cooking supper." He's like, "You couldn't find a stand?" I was like, "It would have taken me out of the moment." I had a guitar on the kitchen counter and I had one in the garbage. And I felt like playing like the one on the kitchen counter, so I put the other one in the garbage. Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that. But you know, that's
This
Denny.
is what you say to that. LTDs can take a beating.
They're Denny proof.
See, not so bad, right?
That's great.
Love the way Yamahas play.
As far as acoustic strings go, a few years ago I made the switch to rotosound strings.
Oh, is that right?
As far as electric strings, I've always been a GHS guy because they can take a goddamn beating. And I was always kind of touch and go on acoustic strings. I loved the Adario, but I found they died quicker. And then I was
You ever used elixirs?
once a year. I'll try a brand new set. Like I'll try a new brand on all my guitars. Okay. Just so I don't get caught. Like sometimes you find you just get comfortable with something, you don't try new shit.
Yeah.
So once a year I'll try a different brand on all my guitars, and I always go back. Well, I was doing the same thing with my acoustic. So I bought a bunch of different brands, and they weren't quite what I wanted. So I walked into a store, London, right uptown, and there was a sale on strings. You buy a box of Rotosound and get a free Rotosound guitar strap.
I bought a bunch of those.
So I bought them, and I was like, these are the best acoustic strings I've ever owned. So I've been playing them ever since, and that's the guitar strap.
Oh, Jesus. Did you use all the strings yet?
I went through a bunch of the electrics of those. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never tried them.
I change all my strings once a month, just because I don't like dead strings,
I probably should do that too.
and they're not always dead. Like on all my guitars, I make a day of it. I pick a Sunday and I spend all day polishing strings, or polishing guitars and cleaning and string changing. It's kind of like a little ritual or whatever.
I used to do that too.
Yeah, but as far as acoustic goes, I love Rotosound strings.
Well, I'm going to play a little tune for you.
Do it.
Just a little instrumental.
You're one of my favorite guitar players.
After the Battle of Aughrim. I'm trying to kind of do my own solo version. This is for all our friends in Ottawa, for all the fucked up shit going on.
That's getting all the right nerves right now.
Yeah.
Man. Well, we get it done. French food.
Good.
Not so bad, right?
That's gorgeous. Big. Really nice.
Yeah.
Maybe my next one will be a Yamaha.
And they're Pacific Electrics. They're great.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. And after watching Brelly do this thing, I'm like, oh,
Well,
All right, gents.
seals the deal.
How you feel about tonight?
that was good. Good to see you again, brother.
Yeah, man, it's been great.
Are you
Jam.
ready?
I don't think we've ever jammed before. I don't know if
It's
we
been
must
a
have.
while.
We must have.
I remember
I love seeing reunions. That's all I'm going to say.
when.
Oh, yeah.
Where did you live down?
I'm sitting back just watching you guys.
You were
reminisce. It's great.
upstairs from a store or a shop or
Oh,
whatever.
and I used to live above Paradise Imports.
That's the
on
one. I drove
York.
a red 89 S10 with the old school
Okay.
tape deck that you pulled the front of it off.
Yeah.
Remember? Put it in my book bag. Went upstairs with an Ibanez that I probably bought from you.
Yeah. Oh.
We drank whiskey and water,
Oh, that's one of my classics. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we listened to some Brian Setzer probably.
Probably.
Either it was either Brian Setzer or some Huevos Rancheros. I can't
Oh, yeah. I remember those.
It was one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a great little spot.
Yeah. I bought an Ibanez from you, and you were playing that night. No, you weren't playing. You were setting up for somebody.
Okay.
Is it possibly one of the Clapton Blackies?
Oh, yeah. Probably my buddy Pete's.
That he had bought it maybe back in the day. I think it was Hug a Guitar on the north side.
I love that store.
Who that? I used to work there.
That's where I bought my
Yeah.
beast.
Because you worked there with Brian
Randall.
Yonker, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, I heard
That's
that
where
name
I
from.
bought my Randall half stack for the first time. The first time I ever
Yeah.
played a Paul Reed Smith. The CE
Yeah, me too.
A McCarty 22, actually.
I'm willing to bet all
It
of
was
us.
blue jean blue. I almost bought it.
Yeah.
It was, I think, $842 million, I think.
Man,
at the
I
time.
got.
Oh yeah, because that's what it was.
I bought a 54
You're reading the barcode, weren't you?
reissue. Yeah, I bought a 94 54 reissue
Right.
Strat, and I traded that to Matchstick Mike for 3 guitars.
Yeah, because I remember that.
Stupid trade. That was so dumb. I should have kept that guitar.
You said that.
That was a fuck.
He was like, you're like,
It
I
was
know I'm going to
mid.
regret this.
It was mid, and he beat the shit
did.
out of it. And then he traded it or sold it to some guy in Halifax. And yeah,
Is that where it went?
it's in
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who knows where it is now?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
probably in some collectors in St. Louis or something.
The amount of just think about the amount of instruments that flow in and out of a musician's hand, and it's mind-boggling.
Oh, I don't like to. I don't like
I miss them. I loved every one
I
of them.
haven't parted with one in a long time.
I still have my first guitar ever.
Do you?
Yep, my first guitar ever. I'll bring it next week.
Mine's right up there.
I'll bring my first guitar.
Nice.
Oh,
I've got the original pickups. It's all.
I can't take mine down.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of not that way at all. Like I don't.
Do you have your first guitar?
No, man, no. Blech.
That's the only one I kept. Everything else is shifted.
But
that
I've
one-
always been a chaser and this kind of thing, and then
Yeah.
I have my guitars.
you know yourself,
As long
I've
as-
owned and bought many Ibanez.
Oh yeah,
There's
Like
certain guitars.
13,
me too. I haven't
I
bought that
own-
many, but
and then
I still own an Ibanez.
yeah, and
I have a
then
pink Artcore.
the first time I played an LTD,
Yeah.
I drove all the way back home, and my Ibanez Iceman
Yeah,
that I had was
yeah.
my favorite guitar.
Those
Ice
were-
fans were nice.
I paid $500 for it. I brought it to the store where the LTD was.
Yeah.
and they offered me $550 for it. I was like,
Oh,
"Fuck,
yeah.
yeah, take it twice, man."
Yeah.
And that
Why
LTD
not?
that I bought that day, I
Yeah.
still have it. It's a 2007, and it's my favorite guitar I'll ever have. It's my
Wow.
casket guitar. I'll be buried with it. And I haven't bought anything except for LTD since that day, except for acoustics. I go Yamaha, but I've owned,
I think I might
6
go back to
LTDs
Yamaha
since.
acoustics.
and I like
Wow.
ever since I bought 77 Ibanez single cut, the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Ibanez
Oh,
Les Paul.
really? Eh? Wow.
The pickups went in it. They went microphonic. I brought it to you, and you told me they were either worth fixing or worth replacing. I had to make my choice, but they were kind of shot. They were microphonic.
Okay. Yeah.
That day, I made the switch to EMGs, and I've been playing LTDs with EMGs ever since. I don't give a shit if you label me.
It's a pretty solid combination.
That's my guy. That's my goddamn.
You got your
thing.
thing.
That's what I like. If you don't like it, you don't have to play it. But I'm an
Yeah.
LTD through EMG through Mesa Boogies, and I dare you to tell me that's not
Pretty
good.
solid metal tone. Right?
Yeah.
That's Denny.
And this.
My metal tone is a BC Rich with EMGs through a Mesa Boogie.
And
I had a BC Rich Beast with Floyd Rose and
I've never
EMG
owned
active
That's
pickups,
what I want is a fucking Floyd Rose for that.
and I bought it, sold it, and then bought it again and sold it
I've
again.
never owned a BC Rich.
And I had a Mesa
That's kind
Boogie
of
with it,
shocking.
and man, that had the best jazz tone I've ever played in my
Yeah.
fucking life.
Yeah.
But it was also a wicked metal guitar.
Yeah.
I really regret getting rid of that thing. It was so cool.
I've owned, I think, 4 or 5 Mesa amps, and
Was it a
now I own
Beast?
4.
Are you talking from a Warlock?
No, it was a Strat shape, but that looked like it was all chiseled. And
So like the
made
Gunslinger
diamond.
series, maybe the Gunslinger or Igniter series.
No, I'm pretty sure it was a Beast.
No, that's the Beast right there.
Okay, it definitely was a Beast.
That's the Beast.
Yeah.
I actually bought it from Brian
No, wait, it was a Beast.
at Hug a Guitar
It was a
when I
Beast.
bought my Randall.
Yeah.
We all bought a Randall.
It was a Beast. No, that's
Actually, I didn't buy a Randall there. I did a crack filling job.
Well,
Oh,
whatever.
nice.
Yeah, that's what I did. I did the.
All right, I gotta go eat ribs.
All right, you eat ribs. We're gonna shut it. Well, maybe.
And next time I come down, you and I are going to speak about this whole Evertune revolution.
Evertune.
These Evertune bridges that people are putting or buying. And
I don't even know about them. I'm not out of the loop, man.
okay, look it up. We'll talk about it next time.
Evertune. Okay.
I'm not into it because I'm a tune-o-matic guy.
Right, I like them too.
I don't mind beat. I want to bend my notes till they're out of tune.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I gotta till it breaks, but that's the note I'm trying to,
Yeah.
But these Evertunes, they're like a weird magic pulley and lever system. that
Okay.
Oh, one of those fucking things.
you can set them up to bend regular, or you can set them up that you can do this.
And they'll go
Nothing
back.
changes. You can bend it that far, and the pitch doesn't change.
Are you fucking kidding? So it's a computerized guitar.
Oh, look it up.
I'm gonna go
I
old,
think
say
I
don't like
kind
it.
of hear it.
I don't like it either because I like I said, the funk
Yeah.
is in the flaw, right?
Yeah.
Well, not even just the funk is in the flaw. It's almost like
But people love them, and I get why. Devin Townsend's a huge guy about it.
You know why they
that
love
that guy's a little mental. on
Yeah, but you
stuff.
never
it's
know.
almost like they get them so they cover all their mistakes.
Well, no, it
they
doesn't
think they're
cover
making
your
a mistake.
mistakes. It's just, especially when you're
Okay.
recording.
Maybe
right?
I'll play it and love it. I won't. I'll hold judgment. You never know.
I don't hold judgment at all. I think they're a wonderful idea.
If that's what you like.
I'll judge it if you guys aren't going to judge it.
No, I
I don't care about my
think
judgment.
they're a perfect. I just think they're not for me.
Although I haven't owned one yet. So I guess I'm just gonna have to go there.
Yeah, so they kind of compensate for everything. But
If I don't like it, I'll sell it. If I like it, well, I'll probably switch over all my guitars.
Yeah, look it up and we'll talk about it.
Evertune. Okay.
Evertune. They're quite the deal, and they're really it's actually pretty amazing. It's very impressive, and I get why people play them.
Oh,
I'm
interesting.
going to write that down.
I can't.
I'm gonna shut off Joey's amp.
Good idea.
Yeah, no, Evertune. Never heard of it.
Well, I guess we'll shut down the live broadcast. Unless you want to.
Oh.
Actually, we can't now that Denny's split that microphone into his fucking mouth like that. You don't know that. You do know that that's the microphone that I scream into twice a week, right?
I had COVID. Halloween.
All right, folks, you heard it. He's had COVID. We're going to sign off. Thanks for coming out.
Your butthole.
Metal Dad out. Turbo out. Flynn out.
Cheese.
Cheese out. That's how it is. French cheese.
It's called
All
potato.
sandwiches. Grow up.
I got a mullet now.